And welcome back. It's the return of the Red Eye stream, live from my undisclosed location high up in the Cascade Mountains. The bunker has beer, and no, you can't have any. Fuck you, and fuck your fucking mom. I don't give a shit. You know, we're not even allowed to talk about okay, we're not allowed to talk about that bug going around. We have governors shutting down entire states. In the state of Oregon, which I'm luckily enough just got back to after my great stay down in Louisiana. We'll be talking a little bit about the differences between the two states later on in the show. But no, the Governor Lesbo just announced, unless you're going to the store, walking your dog, because that's essential, or getting gas, it is a Class C misdemeanor in Oregon to be outside. Wow. What times do we live in? Are you fucking kidding me? You have the National Guard activated in 3 or more states, ready to, I don't know, ship you off to the nearest FEMA camp near you. Have fun. Here's a balloon and a sick bed. Hope you get that respirator you need. What the fuck's going on? I'm joined here today by Jensen, Bear Dog, the artist formerly known as Wolfshot, Farty, of course, and Yorkie. So we got 2 Brits on the panel. London's looking worse than the U.S., and you guys don't have troops on the ground. What's going on, guys?
You say we don't have troops. There is rumours that they have actually been called out and are ready to move at a moment's notice. We're looking at probable major supermarkets and things like that are likely to have troops there to, air quotes, keep the peace. The beer bug, as I'm going to call it, has definitely causing a lot of stress for people. And I really don't understand why. It's just the fricking flu. Calm the hell down. You'll go, Yorkie.
Well, currently, Boris Johnson is doing a speech about it live. If anyone wants to try and share the stream on here, although I don't know if we'd be allowed because it's going off of Sky News. And Dodge just vanished.
Bye, Mad Dog. Bye.
Oh, that's funny.
Him.
Yep.
There's this nifty little button on my mouse that's like a back button. I accidentally clicked it.
Yep. Oh, you've got one of them too.
Muppet.
No, I'm not going to put Sky News on here. We will get copyright struck for that. But, no. Bear Dog, what you're saying in the private chat, they want to suspend habeas corpus? You're kidding me right now, right?
No.
They want to suspend dead Jews?
They want to be able to detain you as long as humanly possible for no fucking reason. I posted the article in the thingy, Madhu. Yeah.
Wait, did you just ask what is habeas corpus? Wolfshot,
Yes,
should
you
you
did.
backhand him or me?
No, I said, did they want to ban dead Jews?
No, Yorkie, what is habeas corpus? You have the right to remain silent. Pretty much, it's your rights. It's your right to a fair and speedy trial. It's your right to be innocent until proven guilty. If you suspend habeas corpus, you can arrest anybody for any reason and hold them indefinitely with no hearing.
I didn't know it was called habeas corpus. I just didn't know that was the name for it. But yeah, if they're going to try and suspend that, enjoy the shit show.
Fun, eh? Looks like life's getting a whole lot more exciting than it bloody well deserves to be.
Well, it could be worse. You should see the fucking shit show down here. I mean, like 2.5 or almost 3 months ago now, we were screaming to lock the borders down so we didn't get it in the first place. But no, South Australia decided they were going to fucking let people wander around the joint. And we're still letting people in through the airports unvetted and unchecked and fucking even in Sydney now. We just brought in a whole bunch of these fucking cruise ships and let people just walk around Sydney and shit. And we've got cases skyrocketing. Up where I'm at, we're about 500 kilometres north of fucking, it was about 300 miles north of Sydney, out in the back of fucking Buggery. And, well, Mum just had to go back to the hospital, and they mentioned to her that, like, I think it was the first of next month, they're expected to basically run out of resources up here. And they've already got 5 cases, which is really great. No one's fucking mentioning that to us. And yeah, they're about to be overwhelmed, and they fucking know it. And we could have prevented this. And they said, "Oh, but we're doing stuff about it now." It's like, no, we could have done something in the beginning and never had it in the first place. You stupid fucking bastards.
Okay, well, when an outbreak happens, it's gonna spread, but you can contain something. I don't know, like Ebola to the African continent. It's been fairly contained, has it not?
Well, Ebola and the COVID or whatever the fuck, it's they're 2 different kinds of viruses or some shit. Like you have to. It's either transferable through saliva or something with Ebola. With COVID, it's air. It could be airborne or particles or some bullshit. It's easier to catch this thing than Ebola.
Yeah, but also too. Yeah, but also too, like like when it was just coming from China, we could have banned every cunt coming from China. But as soon as we even entertained that idea, all the Chinese fifth columnists, I mean, students were saying, but our studies, we're going to miss our studies. And, oh, well, okay, then come on in and infect every bastard. No, fuck your studies. Go home.
You notice you don't hear about all this crap going on from Russia, and you know why, don't you?
Because Russia probably...
Because they don't want you to know?
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say, Jensen. I would think because Putin is putting a lid on it. I bet you St. Petersburg and Moscow have outbreaks. I bet you anything.
Same with North Korea.
Oh, North Korea, they've got a lot of Chinese people going in through the northern border and all that for industrial and business purposes and stuff like that. But they're not saying anything because they don't want us to know that they've found a cure, which is copper coated with a lead core, and it's made by Kalashnikov. But the Russians, they've got the benefit of their southern border with China. There's basically fuck all there. It's all mainly bloody rural shit for hundreds of miles before you get into anywhere near civilization. And they did lock their borders down pretty much straight away. We don't care about your Chinese students. You can fuck off home.
You don't think the major dense places like Moscow, St. Petersburg, places like that, you don't think they're having outbreaks? I mean, we have Vegas shut down, people. The Strip, first time in my lifetime, shut down completely.
Well, from what I can find out, the Russians have had a few cases, but they've isolated them pretty much straight away. I think they've only had 2 deaths. But they've also done the thing that like we should have done with a lot of wars and stuff like that, and just went full on Russian. Like, remember, Russian hostage negotiations is fuck the hostage. But we're too busy worried about everyone's poor fucking feelings, so we're still trying to make the world go round while the Russians went, no, fucking shut this shit down.
Yeah, to be honest, I think with the whole militaries getting ready and shit, I think they're just panicking and preparing in case, well, for America, it'd be like, the fucking Detroit riots all over again. Because, the public are like, when the slightest thing happens, well, got to chimp out and start rioting.
Well, it's not just that. I can give you all an analogy as well. About 8 or 9 years ago, we had some really, really horrific bushfires in Victoria. It was the Black Saturday fires, and so many people had died that they basically said, right, we're going to stop the civilians from doing body recoveries and stuff like that. We'll get the army to do that. And when you're talking about something like this, where you are going to be finding dead people all over the place, the military is sort of kind of more predisposed to look after situations like that, what with dead people and all this kind of shit, than what civilians are. And then you also got to remember too that, like, what's the branch of your government that is predisposed to deal with nuclear, biological, and chemical sort of instances? It's the military.
Okay, but here's the thing. You have the government coming out and saying what they say. I was still in Louisiana, but the Department of Health, the leader of the Department of Health, came out and went, "Look, we're not even talking about the other killer, influenza, that kills 50,000 people a year. Maybe we should do these same things for that." The flu comes around every year. You're telling me every year we're going to shut down the American economy? That is insane.
The flu's a different story because the flu's usually a slight mutation on the last one, which means that they've got something to work on, as the new flu season comes along. Here, we don't actually have anything to start with. We don't have a vaccine. We don't have a prior vaccine to work on. And for quite a while, too, with the Chinese not giving us any information or anything, we've had to synthetically grow our own test material to try and work a vaccine off. Apparently, we're pretty close out here, but I don't fucking believe them. That's a difference.
No, that's not okay. First off, they identified the virus rather quickly, and the virus is so stable it looks man-made. We talked about that 3 weeks ago before I even left for Louisiana.
Yeah.
Right? So this is a man-made virus, which means there is a vaccine out there, which is why the numbers dropped off in China. I bet you anything.
Well, that's quarantine and all that kind of stuff.
The numbers dropped off in China because they're fucking lying. Damn.
There's that.
They're fucking lying. This isn't man-made. This isn't man-made. This is from agriculture. The H1N1, H9, H5, whatever the fuck, the swine flu, the bird flu. This is from agriculture.
That and the fact that the Chinese are savages and don't eat normal food.
Well, yeah, no, that's exactly it. The wet markets are the biggest problem. And if anything comes out of this, they should be shutting those down, period. Forever. I don't think it'll happen, but that's really what should happen.
Agreed. Like you said, though, it's probably never going to bloody happen because, it's their culture. It's the way they do things. How dare we have an opinion on this? What are we? We're just Westerners. Yeah, we're the Westerners that have just been fucked up by the disease that came from within your country. Yeah, I'm trying to word it nicely, Dodge. And we don't get an opinion? Yes, we do. Because we're the ones dying as well. So...
We have a Mad Dodge Productions news alert. Somewhere deep in Michigan, there seems to be a certain chicken fucker who has switched over the bats. And he has gotten the beer virus. Our hearts go out to you and your respirator. We hope it keeps pumping air into those poor, poor little lungs that are like onions. Good luck. Good luck.
Harsh, but fair.
No, okay. The reason I think it was man-made is they identified a protein that comes from a certain lab that they use that protein to create their viruses from. So that's why I called it man-made, Wolfshot.
But it's not.
Oh shit, they got Jensen.
It's found in nature.
It is, and it has switched over to humans before. This is not the first time that the the beer virus has been around.
I think where you're getting this whole it's man-made, made in the lab kind of thing is that, with biological and chemical weapons and stuff like that, they do research them. Like, there is still research going on different forms of anthrax and things like that. And that's mainly to make more more better weapons out of it. And in a lot of cases, when you do make the weapon, you make the weapon first before you make the antidote, because you got to find out like what the weapon does to get the object that fucking counteracts all that kind of stuff. Now, to say that they had the antidote straight away, that's a bit bloody farcical. Now, there's every likelihood that they were working on a form of the C virus and all this kind of shit. Doesn't mean to say that they had an antidote. And yes, fuck ups in weapons labs and stuff like that can happen, which is what a lot of people are saying, that someone got it on them and then they went home and walked around the wet market and all this kind of shit. Other people are saying it's just a normal genetic mutation from just eating bats, and they ate the wrong bat pretty much. It's similar to how a lot of people reckon the AIDS virus was transmitted from apes to humans. So, but yeah, while it could very well have been man-made in a lab and all this, it did definitely come from something that agriculture and animals already did have. Now, how it was spread is the sinister part, and that's where I'm going. Yeah, that's actually a bioweapon more than anything else. Now, could very well be that it was accidentally spread, and all of this was just coincidence because of various different reasons, where some people genuinely didn't think that they had it, some people were genuinely told that they didn't have it, and other people just thought, well, fuck it, I'm bloody armor plated and fireproof, therefore I can't have it. Oh, who's going to stop me from going about my daily business? Sound familiar, Dodge? So fucking, like, the way it was spread could have been deliberately, or it could have been just by accident, and we could have let it happen because we're so fucking incompetent out here nowadays. We can't be trusted to wipe our own asses. Then again, like I say, it could have been a whole bunch of fifth columnists doing it deliberately for various other reasons.
Well, you also had that Korean death cult that were spreading it on purpose, right?
Yeah, but you also had the Italians who didn't believe it, and they were going around licking their own churches clean of the coronavirus too, and look what happened to them.
See-
Yeah, and Adam in the chat says, then the fuckers didn't say anything and allowed travel because hush hush, let's just kill them all at Mad Dodge Productions. Okay, when it comes to travel, I was in the airports, pretty much yesterday. Like, okay, I didn't really sleep, so it was the day before. But the planes are half full. Houston International, I bet you there was like 200 to 300 people in the entire airport. On the way to Louisiana, there was like 200 people on my plane. You know what I mean? So travel has pretty much grinded to a halt.
Yeah, most of that's because people are being smart and not travelling. Some people are like, nah, fuck this, I can't trust every bastard. There are people that do still need to travel. This is what they say, non-essential travel. Like, say if you're going to go to Peru to see the fucking Andes, no, you can fucking stay home. But, like, say, some health monkey from some department that needs to get to another department to help with research, yes, they definitely need to travel.
Or me, because I had to get home to my wife and stuff. I had left before all this hit, and it hit while I was sitting in Louisiana. You know what I mean?
Well, you not so much, but well, that you're in the safer element of the categories and stuff. But when you got cunts like sitting in Peru and shit like that, and they've had 2.5 months to fucking get home, but now when all the planes are being locked down, they go, no, please bring us home. No, you can fucking stay there.
Honestly, I really don't think this, virus, bug, whatever, has been weaponized, because, I mean, if they wanted to weaponize something, they could have easily weaponized bird flu. Bird flu has a 60% mortality rate. That makes more sense, especially in China where bird flu is rampant,
Well, see, yeah, if you did something like bird flu, it'd be a bit obvious and all this kind of stuff. But the point is not really to kill people, because you look at what's happened with the stock market and all this kind of stuff. The stock market's crashed like buggery. Just look at what's happened out here, and I guess what's happened in a lot of American cities and all this. Non-essential services have shut down. Everyone's basically being forced into their own homes and shit like that. You're literally stopping most of the world by having this out there. And by doing that, you're ruining more stock markets, economies, and all this. I mean, like this is where I reckon they're using it against us, particularly, because you got the bushfires that crippled our tourist industry, which is a large chunk of our economy. A lot of businesses still haven't recovered from that, and then you got this happening. The stock market shits itself. People now being effectively fired from their jobs because, well, there are businesses that simply won't survive a couple of weeks, let alone a few months of this stuff. And unemployment's rampant. You should have seen people at the dole offices yesterday. They were literally like, it was like fucking Star Wars in the 1970s, man. They were literally around the fucking block because there are so many people now looking at, well, shit, I've just lost my job pretty much. And, it will take a long time for us to recover from this. And while we're too busy dealing with this, worrying about all this kind of shit, China's expansionist sort of attitude in the South Pacific, that knocks us out of the playing field because we are literally the biggest thing, and that's the biggest roadblock that they have down here, because we've got ANZUS, UKANZUS that deals with NATO, a whole bunch of other things. So they can go around and fuck with the Southeast Asian countries, but as soon as they hit us and we say, no, get fucked, and they fire a shot, well, we've got the rest of the world that's going to come in to help us. Now, you can't really do that while England's on lockdown, America's on lockdown, Australia's on lockdown, and the rest of NATO's on lockdown. Half of fucking NATO's actually dead now, or pretty much, because like you've got Italy and Greece and other European countries that have been hit really hard about this. They've knocked most of us out of the playing field. And if they wanted to start expanding through the South Pacific, there's nothing to stop them at the moment.
Well, the United States Navy is not bringing any more ships back to port. All naval vessels are instructed to stay at sea where it's safer. Along in New York, there's a hospital ship that's going to dock in the harbor. And outside of, I believe, San Diego, there's another hospital ship docking close to California. I don't like the idea of these hospital ships, because then they're going to start just sending the ones that are marked X, you know what I mean, to the hospital ship and dispose of them quietly. Don't you think?
No. And Dodge, that is really fucking retarded thinking. I'm going to channel MC on this, but not fucking yell at you because I'm an old folks zone.
Same here, party. That's fucking retarded.
Yeah, like you need the increased capacity. This has already overwhelmed hospitals as it is, and it looks like you're going to have thousands upon thousands upon thousands more. All right, you talk about FEMA camps and all this kind of shit. All right, what you literally would rather do is have Ebola style fucking
Hospice space. You don't necessarily need a ship docked. Okay.
hospice. That's
Hospital, hospice, whatever you want to call it, man.
No. A hospice is where you basically have someone sitting in a bed that doesn't necessarily need all the medical treatment. A hospital.
Yeah, so you're talking about somebody 60 or over that gets the beer bug, and they can't breathe, and there's not much you can do for them. Where are you going to put them?
Yeah, but your hospital ship already has all the air circulation systems and all that kind of stuff, all your monitoring gear and all this. These hospital ships are designed for mass casualties and during a war. This is exactly what you need, not a fucking hotel that's got no equipment whatsoever that you got to go and find more equipment. All this kind of
that's not necessarily true, because a lot of hotels already rent space to the hospitals for like the sleep studies for like apnea patients and stuff. A lot of these places already have the respirators and oxygen in there. They're already fitted for this because of sleep stuff.
No, you don't need respirators and all that kind of shit for fucking sleep apnea and all that kind of crap.
Yes, you do. I had sleep apnea. Don't fuck with me. They hook you up to a fucking air hose, dude.
Either fucking way.
And Falcon, go ahead, yeah.
Either way, you've got fucking way more resources on a hospital ship than you do in most hotels. And how many people are you going to put in these sleep apnea hotels anyways? How many rooms did they have dedicated for that?
Quite a few, actually. Up in Portland, there was at least part of the entire floor where the Ronald McDonald House is that was dedicated to sleep apnea. And no, Adam, I said they do them at hospitals, but they also rent out space at the at the hotels, especially here on the West Coast. Maybe it's different where you're at.
That's even a better idea, Dodge. Yes, let's go and stick these highly infectious cunts into a place where the parents are already worried about their kids with cancer. Fuck me.
They're shutting that all down, dude. Okay, my brother's girlfriend, her mom has cancer. We went to LSU hospital, tried to get in. They would not let the daughter in to see her freaking mother with bone cancer. They've already shut all that down, Farty. So go ahead and golf clap all you fucking want, dude. You can act like I'm an idiot, but I actually know what I'm fucking talking about.
Well, if you knew what you were talking about, you wouldn't be sucking about hospital ships, dude.
Oh, yeah? Hospital ships. Okay. And Falcon says the U.S. Coast Guard actually does put a red X on the people not worth saving. That's what I'm fucking saying. The ones not worth saving are the ones going to those fucking ships.
Oh my god, the ships are for supplies. Donald Trump said it fucking at the press conference, right? He said it's for supplies.
Oh, because the government always tells you what they're going to do.
Let me ask you, are you going to take that fucking handout from Trump? Just say yes. Just say yes.
Actually, the Senate struck it down, so there is no handout yet.
No, there will be one. I guarantee it. I guarantee there will be one.
Getting back to
and damn right, everybody's going to end up taking it because they won't let us work. They just shut down my wife's entire freaking job. We have no income. The government shut down the job, not the business. No, I'm talking here. It's my show. Yeah, my show.
And fucking bloody go and get infected and bring it home because you need your monies and shit. No, this is the fucking time where you just need to shut the fuck up and do what you're told.
No, this is not the time you need to shut the fuck up and do what you're told. How many people have been infected? How many die from influenza every year? The numbers are skewed here, my friend. We are overreacting over nothing.
Fuck's sake, why do you keep rattling on about shit when you're wrong? No, as I said about fucking...
Yeah, wrong? Welcome to the backstage. You can sit there for a minute. Hi, Falcon.
Hey, I wanted to go ahead and clarify a couple things real quick. First of all, when you're doing a sleep study, you are not on a respirator. What you are breathing in is normal air. They're just monitoring what goes. They know what goes in. They're monitoring what comes out and the amount of air flow. And of course the period between breaths and all that kind of stuff. With a respirator, you're getting oxygen, straight oxygen, and there's positive pressure. So when you inhale a little bit, your lungs are basically being filled with it. Also, hospital ships don't have any of that like sleep study crap. They're specifically meant to go to like Honduras or some third world country, stay there for a little while, and to handle mass casualty situations where you have thousands of people flooding the ships. They're not like your hospital, your city hospital.
Okay. But how hard is it to swap a little bit of equipment when you already have the room set up, is my point.
Harder than you think.
What, a moving van? It's not that hard, man.
No, dude. A lot of this equipment, it's the kind of thing that, oh yeah, you want to move it? Okay, you have to be extremely careful. You have to do a very, very specific procedure, or you can very easily break it. And it takes a few days at best to move even some of the simpler stuff. Also remember, when it comes to like ships, the stuff's bolted down.
Okay, Farty, Typhoid Mary, really. I'm quarantined at home. I'm sitting at the house. I'm not running around. But you're shutting down an entire United States economy over something that hasn't killed 5,000 people. More people die from drunk driving, dickhead.
Do you remember what I said at the beginning of this about Australia? We should have shut this shit down 2.5, almost 3 months ago. Now we've got it.
Same here.
We were trying to prevent this shit from happening.
Oh, and real quick, a lot of people have compared this to like the flu. This is more easily transmitted than the flu. Its incubation period is longer than the flu, and per 100,000 people, it has killed more than the Spanish flu of 1918. This is like the flu that on nitrous and with a supercharger attached.
And as
And
I was
also
about to say,
protein.
fuck's sake, as I was about to say before I got booted, the normal flu, we usually have something to fucking deal with it. We don't in this case.
Exactly.
How many people take the flu vaccine? Raise your hand, because I'm not raising mine. Anybody? Anybody?
I'm not in the high risk areas to get the flu.
The problem with the flu is that it's always changing. It is constantly changing. That's why there is no real vaccine to the flu. They only have a vaccine for certain strains of the flu.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And when you get this year's vaccine, your body learns how to make the antibodies for it, and then next year, it's the reason why the flu is still going to make you sick is because it knows your antibodies and it's already fucking changed. So then you need the new flu vaccine to help your body learn what the new flu is. We don't even have that with this.
Okay, my point though was this, and it's simple. Nobody raised their hand. Nobody in the chat said that they raised their hand. Okay, nobody takes this stupid vaccine unless you're 65 or older, and even then, it's probably worse to take the vaccine than not. So your basis for your argument, oh, at least with the flu, we have a starting baseline. It doesn't matter. Nobody takes that fucking vaccine, dude.
How many of us here are 60 though?
But we do have a starting baseline with the flu. We do have a starting baseline with this virus too, because it's been around for forever.
Yeah, and how many people here are between the ages of 0 and 7 and fucking 60 and older? And how many of us here are actually actively working in the medical industry or anything like that? These are the high-risk cases that actually should take the vaccine every year because, one, it'll prevent them from getting as sick as if they didn't, and two, for people around our age who do work in the medical industry, it'll prevent them from passing it on. And these are the demographics that it affects the most. Us normal, healthy people, we're fine.
Sorry about that. I had a phone call.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, 0 to 7. I have kids in that age range. We don't give them the vaccine. If they catch the flu, they get chicken noodle soup, lots of water, juice, and rest, and they get over it. And then their body builds up an immunity to that strain. Just like, what? In the 80s and 90s, they had chickenpox parties, right? One kid in the neighborhood would get chickenpox, and all the parents would send their kids to go catch it, so they were immune to it, right?
Well, now we've got
Well,
vaccines
also-
against
Now we have a
chickenpox,
vaccine
so-
for chickenpox.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's
Not
the
only
reason why
that,
that
but you don't get there's a different virus that can lay dormant in your body for a very, very long time. That if you never get chickenpox, then you never have that virus. Shingles.
Yeah, I know. I've never had chickenpox, actually, and I'm 35. If I catch it now, it can kill me. So I'm watching out for the kids. If they catch it, I'm out. You know what I mean?
Also, remember, like many people have said, and I said earlier, this stuff is the flu on hyper steroids, insane. At this point, really, what we know now is if your kids get this, start planning funerals. And I'm not making that up. I'm not exaggerating. Old people above the age of 60, same thing with them. My father, he's 61. He's anchored off of some little itty-bitty speck of an island in the Bahamas, and we've told him, don't come back to the United States. Stay there. You're as safe as you can be. My grandfather, who's 83, over in LaGrange, him and his wife are isolated. If he gets it, he's dead.
Not necessarily. There was a case in Florida where an 83-year-old woman caught it, and she survived it. So,
Exceptions to the rules.
Yeah. Yeah, the main
Exactly.
thing is...
That's like people who say falling out of airplanes, it won't kill you. Yeah, there's been like 2 or 3 people that have lived after falling out of an airplane, but come on. That's
Yeah, the main-
extreme rarity.
Yeah, the main,
Okay,
the main
but-
thing is,
Go ahead.
It's when you get older, your immune system starts to sort of fall away, and the same thing when you're really young. Your immune system is still building up. This is where they're saying, don't fucking bring your kids up in the bubble. Let them go out, get their hands dirty and play, because then they need to get the antibodies for the shit that they'll fucking deal with. Now, when you're an old age person, as your immune system starts to die off, that's when you become more and more susceptible to things like the flu and even this. And not everybody is the same. Yes, you will get the 80-something-year-old that still plays tennis every day and can run around the block and lift cars and spin them on their finger and shit like that. But the largest majority of them are very weak. They are very old. They're all arthritic. They don't really move all that much. And if you fart in their general direction, you could probably kill them from something in that.
Okay,
Exactly. There's a
I do
72-year-old
real quick, Falcon, real quick. Is this worth shutting down the largest economy on the face of the planet? Because
Yes.
you just caused the Great Depression. Did you see the stock market? I was watching it in Louisiana. It dropped 800 points in fucking like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't
Yes,
think this
it
is
is
going to
horrible.
cause a Great Depression, but if something kills 5% of your population, holy shit, that's massive.
Yeah, this
Well-
is a big fucking deal.
Well,
I'm not an alarmist. I'm not a panic person. I don't do that shit. But this is actually a big fucking deal.
Well, the
Same
thing is,
here, Bear Dog.
Dodge. Yeah, like you said, America's got the largest economy in the world. If it's that big and that strong, it should bounce back when this shit blows over.
And that's what generally economies do during a depression or a recession. And the main reason why it's caused is because, well, stock market prices start to fall, and this can happen if a fly farts in a paddock in Iowa. The disruption from that will cause the stock market to drop a few points, but people will add to this, and by adding to it, I mean, like, they'll see their prices fall and they'll go, oh shit, I've got to get my money now while the going's good, and then they start selling, and then other people will see the same thing, and then it will plummet. Now, what everybody should do, and this is what we did learn in the Great Depression and in the last couple of recessions that we had in the 90s and early 2000s, was no, don't sell. Leave everything exactly where it is. Sure, the prices will fucking plummet, but once this is all over and everyone starts trading again, the prices will actually not just bounce back to where they were, but they'll almost double in price. But you can't tell that to everybody.
Well, look at the late 1800s here in the States. With basically every 10 years, there was a panic, and the stock market just crashed. And that's exactly what happened. And we eventually did learn that, you don't just sell immediately because all of a sudden your stock's worth nothing. If the company is doing all right, then leave it alone.
In fact, this is what I've been saying a lot lately too, is that, like, this is now the time to start buying. Like, I'll use these two companies just as examples. I don't care whether you hate them or not. They're just examples. Like Microsoft and Apple, right? They will survive this. There is nothing that's going to wipe them off the face of the planet. They will be here when this is over. But whilst everyone's selling all of their shares there, you wait until the stock market plummets, and then use your dividends or whatever money you got left, fucking grab a whole bunch of those shares, because they will quadruple in price almost by the time this is over.
Well, MC, is this a reason to shut down the largest economy on the face of the planet? They're saying yes. I disagree very much so.
Well, if your economy is so big and strong, it can.
It's not going to be big and strong if you fucking kill it. You're killing it. You put a bullet in its head like it's a little Chinese fucking revolutionist. I mean, what the hell are you doing?
Mad Dodge, please let MC answer your question.
This isn't gonna. What are you worried about the economy for? Does this delay things in the economy? Yeah. Is it going to end the economy? No.
Absolutely not. MC, please explain hospital ships. Thank you.
Please.
Okay. Well, hospital ship is just what it sounds like. It's a floating freaking hospital, right? It's got tons of beds. It has doctors. It has nurses. All right. It travels around. And in the two ships that they talk about, I think each one of those has 1,000 beds under normal circumstances, and they can boost it by another 500, I think. Though these are what the intent is, as far as what Trump wants to use them for, is he wants to use these as supplemental places so that if a hospital on land gets overrun by the coronavirus, the people who need help that aren't sick with corona will get to utilize the hospital ships rather than the normal ones. Now these are full-blown hospital ships in that these ships have not just beds and isolation wards and all, like ICUs and things like that. I'm not talking about isolation wards the way you're thinking about it, or the way it worked with the coronavirus, but they have like ICUs and so forth. But they also have full-blown operating rooms, all right, which with everything, everything that you see in the movies, all right, they're completely decked out from top to bottom. What is it that you're looking for?
Oh, you thinking?
No, I was saying that they're probably taking the worst cases and putting them on the ship, and if they die, well,
no. They're not putting any of the coronavirus people on the ships at all, which is a smart thing to do. Don't let the coronavirus get on there. It's not going to become a plague ship. What you're doing is that when the hospital doesn't have room for like the heart attack victims and things like that, the heart attack victims will go here. The stroke victims will go here, rather than trying to put those people also in the plague building.
okay, I misunderstood then. All right, fair enough.
All right, that was it.
No, that's it with the hospital ships, but I still think grinding the economy to a goddamn halt. Okay, first off, you grind the economy to a halt. You lock everybody in their house.
All right.
You initiate National Guard units, and then you send out money to stimulate what economy that's left. What are you stimulating?
Well, I disagree with the whole send out money shit to begin with, but that's not the point. The point is first of all, when you talk about grinding the economy, who are you selling to?
The people still want to go out and buy shit. Obviously, they want toilet paper, man.
They're still going to be able to go out and get toilet paper. That's not ending. People are still going to buy toilet paper. People are still going to buy food. All right, and is production of other goods like automobiles coming down? Yeah, that production is going to go on a hiatus. It's going to go on a hiatus for a couple of months. All right, that's the worldwide. So it's not like we're losing anything from worldwide or losing a competitive advantage worldwide. Everything is going to come grinding to a halt worldwide. Now, there will be changes. For example, GM has already said that they're retooling to produce medical equipment right now. All right, so that they're going to produce ventilators and they're going to produce pharmaceutical manufacturing.
That comes back to the Production Act, right? That Donald Trump initiates.
Part of it, yeah. Part of it will come into that, where they are directing that. But it also comes down to, okay, if you can't produce cars, what can we sell? Well, we could sell ventilators. Well, let's make ventilators.
If anything, this is going to prove Donald Trump right, and there's two ways that people will look at this, but like he has been banging on the whole time about bringing businesses back from China to start making your own shit in America. Now, a lot of people will go, yeah, actually, see, he was right, but I bet you $10 there's going to be a bunch of fucking Yanks that go, well, this was a conspiracy, you see, because he just did this so we could get all the stuff back from China and make everybody believe that this is what we needed to do.
You're going to get the Orange Man bad group. That hasn't changed. You could go on Twitter and see that.
Yeah, well, you're always going to have a retard in a classroom full of kids. But honestly, out of all this, I
am that
really
retard,
hope
by the way, guys.
I really, really hope we can get a vaccine out soon, as soon as possible, to really start to stamp this down, so we don't have like a resurgence that China's having right now. And like my company, we've pretty much for the most part ground to a halt.
Well, the thing about it in the United States is quite frankly, is take a look at where the cases are. All right, the cases are ballooning up in the United States. Where? One state. More than anything else, one state, you see this ramping out of control. And that's New York, and specifically New York City. And that's because the two dumbasses, all right, Cuomo and frickin' de Blasio, didn't want to be the bad guy and pull the trigger to put a stop to it. Now, he's not the only one. I mean, let's be honest. Governor DeSantis should have stood up there and put a stop to that spring break nonsense that was going on down in Florida. Okay, I mean,
Now
so
they
he's
all
not,
have it. Now, did you see that the spring breakers tested positive for COVID?
Yep. So,
Oh, yeah.
so which is like, you know, learn your lesson the hard way, apparently, because you're just dumbasses, right? You're threatening everybody else. Okay, but that's to say that the president should have been doing that when these guys had the ability to put a stop to this, especially New York City, which was, let's be honest, was very vulnerable. Their subway systems and their mass transit that everybody takes are crammed full of people, just like London, and they're having the same freaking problems.
But who
Well, if I
didn't
remember
think that New York
properly,
City wouldn't get fucked? I mean, really, in reality, who didn't think New York City was going to get fucked by this? Seriously.
They did.
If I remember right, New York City has the highest population density in North America.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, when you have that many people packed really tightly in together, and then sanitation is absolute crap, and nobody takes care of any of the public areas, unlike in places like Japan, you think there's not going to be a problem when some little itty bitty nothing is thrown in, much less the beer flu.
Then you have a look at like Times Square, for example, like the amount of people that just go through Times Square, and then the amount of, you know, tourists and shit that go to Times Square. What else do you do in Times Square as opposed to just stand there and look at all the pretty lights? You pile yourselves into fucking theaters and shit. So
well, that's where the big thing is. Well, the thing is, though, when you're dealing with the subway system there, the reality is de Blasio should have stood up there and declared a subway holiday for at least 2 to 3 days over a weekend somewhere to say, look, we need to make sure that everything stays clean to keep everybody safe. Just to get people to realize, all right, things can't remain the way they were. You can't just keep acting like you were. They were already saying, we want you to voluntarily quarantine in place. There is no reason, all right, when that issue came out, for an entire week, Wall Street still continued doing what it was normally doing. All right, and what's more is that during that entire time, every single one of those traders, none of those traders need to be on the floor. None of those traders needed to be on the floor. They all could have been back doing everything remotely from their houses. Okay, so nobody was taking it seriously. Not the mayor, not the governor, none of them. All right, now,
Well,
the reality was that for the most part, they were safe for the most part until the virus came in from Italy, because everyone was looking at China, and quite frankly, the flow from China got stopped off pretty quick. It was too late for Washington State, but for the rest of the country, it was very effective. All right. Then the Italian sequence began. All right, and that's where the vast majority of this came from into the United States. It came from Italy. All right. But
what is the MC? What's the density in Italy? Because they look like they're stacked on top of each other also.
Well, it depends on the city, but yeah, there's areas that are very, very heavily densely populated. I mean, obviously Rome, Naples, Milan, those areas are very heavily. Venice. Right now, they're talking about how Venice is so clean because nobody could go out. Porpoises are back in the canals now, right? Because they aren't polluting the hell out of the world anymore.
I have another piece of good news. New York City, and there's a woman I've been following her channel for like 3 or 4 years now. Kelsey Lee, she releases a video like once a month, kind of thing, like more vlogish kind of thing, and she's a bike messenger in New York City. The roads are basically nobody's doing anything. Everyone's inside. There's like maybe like one car on the road in Times Square.
Well, that's great.
So there is some good news.
It took them 2 weeks to get there, or actually it took them 2 months to get there when they should have been doing it a month ago.
Unfortunately, I think the same thing's going to happen to DC if they don't stop the influx of people. Like in Virginia, we're up 40% of our cases, and it's mostly in Fairfax and Arlington, which borders DC.
DC is going to feel the impact very soon. You are correct, because they won't. They think that they're immune. All right. Oh, the senator got it. Rand Paul got it. Yeah, that's a terrible shame. I'm still going to go out to dinner with you, Charlie. We're going to see you at dinner at 5 o'clock. So I mean, that's really what's going on.
They think they're the aristocracy.
They do. It's like the red mask of death. You kind of want to sit up there and see it happen.
And couldn't Trump shut down DC technically?
Could he? Well,
Yeah.
technically, Trump could shut it down. In fact, he would require him to shut it down because they're a federal mandate. Trump should close DC. Now, what would happen, of course, is let's be honest. From a political standpoint, they would go absolutely berserk. All right, the senators and congressmen would all go nuts. The fact that they can't have their little soirees and so forth. But really, that's what Trump should do. In fact, he should sit up there and just close the Capitol building, just lock the doors to the White House, and say we're bunkering down just like everybody else. We're going to be quarantining ourselves just like everybody else. Now, of course, Trump is leery about doing that for a different reason, and that is he doesn't want to scare people. You start saying that the entire Capitol is locked down and that the president is locking himself from behind the doors. People will freak out even that much more.
Oh my God, it's a conspiracy.
Well, then you're gonna have, especially in like San Francisco, San Diego, California, Southern California, you're gonna have basically riots and panic, and rule of law is I think going to break down there.
Well, no. Okay. So, the state of Louisiana, they came out and said that, and they actually announced this. We are not arresting anybody that has an outstanding warrant or any new crime unless it's a capital crime. And they announced it. It's like a free license to go rob the liquor store.
It is, and they're gonna, but at the same time, they've kind of locked everything down. They're starting to arrest people now for violating curfew.
I got out of there just in time, huh?
It's kind of hard to go rob the liquor store when you're going to get arrested for going on the way there.
Well, that's why the suspension of habeas corpus is so important.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they want to suspend habeas corpus.
If you suspend habeas corpus, all right, then it'll be interesting to see what the newspapers do, because at that point you could go in there and arrest all these freaking reporters. So Trump actually suspended habeas corpus. It's like, okay, it's time to ship you guys off. Where's the plague center at? Oh, New York. We don't have to send you far.
Oh, they'll love it there. That's pretty much their summer home.
Jim Acosta, yeah, you're on this list here. Undesirable.
Yeah, I don't really think it's gonna affect. It's gonna affect normal people. It's not gonna affect them. I think this is the perfect opportunity to seize power. Don't you think?
Well, no, and speaking of seizing power, what happens to the election? Because this is supposed to last until the summer, and then what? We take a 2-month break, and then it hits again next fall? I mean, what are we talking about here?
The only group that can change the date of the election is Congress.
Yeah, you can see that going off really fucking well.
Oh no! Well, which is it? Both houses have to agree, or is it just one house has to vote?
They both have to agree.
They both have this. Yeah, they both have to vote on this.
Yeah, they both have to agree, which they won't. So that'll never fucking happen.
When you said both houses, I thought, okay, that's absolutely sure as hell not going to happen. The Democratic Party will never let that happen.
Just kind of glad that fucking Obama's not still in, because he'd definitely be using this as an excuse to use the War Powers Act so he can just be a dictator.
Well, War Powers Act is not. That's not what the War Powers Act is. So you don't have to worry about that.
Didn't stop him from trying to fucking use it before, though.
Well, the War Powers Act has a very narrow subset that they go with, and the reality of the War Powers Act is more than anything else is that it's an illegal act anyway. That's why the Congress has never challenged it in court, because the one time they did and they got to a lower court, they got slapped down. So they've never really tried it again. But
the fact remains, though, we have an election, and it's going to be handled one way or the other. Are the other states going to go about it the way Oregon does and do vote by mail? Because Oregon's fine. We can hold our election.
You're not fine. Don't come back and
I was about to say, you're not fine, nigga, what? I would fuck Oregon with my fucking life.
Y'all can have fun. I'm just gonna keep loading ammo.
As much as you guys are laughing, as much as I want to laugh at Mad Dodge, unfortunately, my state just put in law that if the election comes to that, they'll do it by mail as well.
Oh no, my state is completely just absolutely fucked. Like, let me tell you what. Like, I was listening to my governor today crying about stuff and things, and I'm like, you could actually do something to like stop this. But okay, whatever. You can cry about it. I don't know. It's so bad, and I really don't think that they will be able to switch all the states to mail-in voting without some huge point of contention. Like, there will be, you have to recount because of blah, blah, blah. You have to do this because of blah, blah, blah.
That's exactly
somewhere.
That's exactly what will happen. All right, so it's going to turn into a shit show. I mean, to do something like this on ad hoc at the last minute is going to be a disaster. So the election, though, I think people are, putting the cart before the horse. I don't think that this is going to be an issue.
What does it matter? Trump's going to win anyways.
I don't think this is going to be an issue more than 3 or 4 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks more anyway. I really don't think this is going to last as long as everyone's expecting it to.
Yeah, but Trump's saying until like July or August.
Because he's
worst case scenario. Personally, I think about maybe 6 weeks on the heavier side of things.
No, worst case scenario is what the fucking WHO or the CDC put out a report about how many deaths could happen, or
that's the World Health Organization. Don't listen. The World Health Organization.
No, I think it's the CDC that released the report of what could happen if it gets really fucking bad.
Yeah, I don't see that. I just don't see it getting to that point.
I mean,
I don't think it'll nearly be bad.
They canceled school for the rest of the year here.
They did that all over the place.
Yeah,
except for
our governor is kind of
not here. The next month on the 26th, the kids are supposed to go back.
School's been out here for 2 weeks, and they're debating suspending the SATs and standardized testing.
Yeah, they suspended FOLs here too.
I don't think we're going to lose 15% of the population.
Oh, that's a lot.
If we lost 15% of the population, you're talking about 1.5 million people dead.
Yeah, you want to talk about the economy? That.
If you wipe out 15% of the population, first of all, the 50% of the population that you wiped out, all right, is going to be in the elderly. They're the ones that actually retain most of the wealth. At which point, like it or not, the federal government, all right, would become extraordinarily flush with cash because they have the 50% death tax. So if that happened, the government would be more than happy to take that money. Trust me. Okay, but now, but 15%, 1.5 million people dead in the country, and we're just assuming that we're going to time compress it in 6 months. That would be massive, and that would be horrifying.
That would be extremely detrimental to our economy.
You think 15% sounds ridiculous? In this little Facebook group chat I'm in, someone's claiming that apparently on the news they stated that it could end up being up to 50% in Britain.
Oh well, we don't care about y'all. That's okay.
Yeah,
Britain? Oh, you mean Airstrip 1? Part of the United European Soviet Socialist Republics?
Fuck all of you guys.
I don't think that there's any chance that it's going to get that high in Great Britain or anywhere else for that matter.
Hey, at least you guys Brexited when you did.
Well, I'm just wondering, is the Queen hiding up in the fucking Tower of London? Like, don't come near me.
Somewhere, I guarantee you that.
Yeah, actually, basically she is. They've hidden her away from fucking everybody. In fact, there was one person in Buck Palace that was that did test positive, and everyone shat themselves.
Well, I mean, she is in her 90s.
Yeah.
Isn't she dead already?
No.
Surprisingly not, even though she's like 92 or something.
So she's like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, dead. Well, she's practically dead, but not actually.
She's committed to saving Great Britain from her son.
Yeah,
Shit.
that's
Fucking
why I
A.
died like 20 years ago.
Well, see, yeah, this is what actually looks like it might happen if it does, get as bad as what everyone is thinking it is. We'll lose the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip, which is Liz's husband. We'll lose the Queen, and most likely we'll lose Prince Charles. And the prophecy of William being the next king will actually happen.
I'm fine with that.
Shouldn't y'all just get rid of your monarchy and be
Fuck
like
you.
the rest of the fucking world?
No, because
Why can't you just be normal?
No, because we've got things like the Governor General, and if our President or Prime Minister kicks up a fucking stinking bees of fuckwit, we can just say, hey, Governor, can you ask the Queen if we can sack him? And then she will. Instead of this bullshit impeachment crap.
He likes his shortcuts.
Yeah.
The rest of the world, believe it or not, most of the rest of the world still has kings and queens to a large extent.
Yeah, no, I was just fucking around.
But
Kind of. They kind of have them.
They
well,
haven't grown up.
they
For
don't
fun.
have
They
the,
have it for fun. They're like, oh, look at us. We've got it. Oh, we're all fun.
Well, actually, the British royal family does a hell of a lot in charitable circumstances and stuff like that, more with national disasters and whatnot. I mean, William's already set up a trust fund. Now, this isn't like a normal charity where you give them $1 and they'll take 90 cents and give 10 cents to the end recipient. This is a trust fund. So anybody who wants to donate money to this, it goes into a massive bank account, and it's the dividends that come off of that. And we're talking about millions upon millions of dollars. So you're getting hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars out of this a month. Like, it's an ongoing thing, and it's designed to be there for hundreds and hundreds of years. And just take for like the bushfires that we've just had, they've set up charities for that. They've even put in their own money. They start these things off with their own money, so it's not just a thing of like, oh, we're just going to set up the bank account and everyone chucks money in. We're going to set up the bank account. We're going to put $10 million in it straight away, and then anybody else who wants to top that up, no problems. Even Camilla Parker Bowles, who isn't really an actual royal, she's only married to Prince Charles. She even forked out something like $15 million to throw at us for the bushfires and stuff like that. And when these kinds of things do happen, William and Kate were supposed to do this. They were supposed to come out and actually tour the disaster zone. And it's a kind of a thing. They're seeing their subjects. They're going out to the disaster and all this. And it's usually when they show up, that's the sign that it is well and truly over, and that everyone can now start to relax and all this, because you're not going to send them into some dangerous area. And it's a lot. That's like your presidents do it as well. Like, every time there's like disaster and the president's touring the thing, that like they're not just sitting up there on a throne just going fucking off with their head and stuff like that. They actually do things.
I'm
Okay,
sorry, I can
well,
only hear-
if you look at this map I have up, the United States is peppered with hot spots, right? Especially in the Northwest, Southwest, and over on the East Coast. But look at Europe. You guys are just, and Britain, there's not even an island there anymore. It's just a red spot.
Yeah, even the sea's contaminated.
here's a more updated screen. If you want to look at mine. This is what I use. I use Johns Hopkins University because they keep it fairly updated pretty regularly, right? And
Except for China.
Except for China, because China's not giving us any information, let's be honest. But if you take a look at like the United States, they've got it down to the county.
Yeah, if you look over at Virginia, the bulk of it is.
Yeah, it's all up here.
Yep. You see that?
Yeah, it's your highly populated zones, and
If
like
you-
bumfuck Iowa's okay because
Actually, Richmond is easily as populated as Alexandria.
Oh, fuck Richmond. They can fucking goddamn fly away into the atmosphere.
I
just
pointing
realized
out-
something.
Fuck
What?
Richmond.
Looking at it, I just realized something. That actually, other than there are only 2 spots in Georgia. Fun fact: that smaller red spot, I'm right in the middle of that.
Which one? This one down
See you
here?
guys.
Right
See you
there?
guys in whatever comes next.
But no, if you take a look at where the big hit is, look at right here, New York. All right, and we got 2,000 there, 10,000, 700 there. There's another area in New York where it's like 10,000 or 12,000. Excuse me, I underestimated. This is New York. New York is the the carrier for all this entire area. Even Massachusetts, which had a big splurge, all right, from the Chinese input, notice it settled down pretty quickly in the Boston area here and so forth. But New York, on the other hand,
Who the hell was that? Yo, mama's calling back.
I don't know. So, but this is where the spread basically is as you're looking at it. But I like the fact that this map has all the different counties in it that are infected, even if there's just one person, like here in Wyoming. Now, you'll not see that anywhere else. If you come over here to Europe, they just have the countries with big red blotches. 6,000 in Britain. Austria has 4,000. Germany has 29,000. France has 19,000. Spain has 33,000. Italy has 63,000.
63,000. Like Italy is being hammered the most. That's higher than at least what China gave us as numbers, correct?
No, China's gave us 81,000. They're catching up quickly though.
Yeah, that's pretty much more than most of Europe, I think.
No, believe it or not, the rest of Europe is catching up quickly because you got 8,000 in Switzerland. Like I said, 19,000. You add Spain, France, and Germany together, and if we can get Germany, you can tell that they're over actually what's in Italy. Now, death-wise, the death rate is absolutely ridiculous. And this is a 10% death rate.
Oh shit!
By these numbers versus number confirmed versus number of deaths.
Oh shit!
I've just seen that Italy has like almost 10 times more than Britain does.
Oh yeah. Yes, it does. And your population is what? 3 times or 4 times what Italy's is?
I don't know Italy's population, but ours is about 65, 66 million.
Now, that's easily explained because there's a reason why we call them dumb fucking wogs. And I'm not just saying that to be racist or anything like that. There's an air crash investigation episode that easily proves, like, shows my point. Basically, this plane runs out of fuel and they crash into the water. And on their way down, the stewardess is telling everybody, just put your life jackets on, but do not inflate them until you're outside the aircraft. And there was this one Italian couple, an Italian policeman and his girlfriend, and he's going, no, I do not think that she's right. No, I put it on my girlfriend and then I pull her coat straight away. Why did she die?
Exactly. It killed both of them.
No, he survived. He got interviewed and all this. They go, why did she die? He didn't inflate his, though. He inflated hers. But fucking, like, when these idiots were told to go and, isolate and not contaminate shit, don't fucking lick things for a start. They all went down to their churches and we lick it off the fucking coronavirus so as that the Jesus statue doesn't get it.
No, it was even worse than that.
Fucking idiot.
It was even worse than that. They were having Hug a Chinese Day. They were literally having things and where they were running around hugging Chinese people to say, "Oh, look, we are not the racist ones. We're going to hug the Chinese."
MC, the Chinese government was also saying to do that, to hug someone who's infected with coronavirus, to show solidarity or something. It's like,
yeah,
you people are insane.
Yeah, hug our fifth columnists.
Exactly. You wonder why we say that you people are trying to kill us all? That is why.
Hang on, I'd love that. Someone should do a satirical thing in the news. Italy is now promoting Hug a Chinese Day. We now cross to Xi Jinping for his opinion. Good. The virus through you.
Okay. Hey, how about we just ship a bunch of Chinese blankets to people with coronavirus on them? Just saying, I think that worked in the past with smallpox.
Well,
that only works with smallpox.
No, well, the funny part about that one, Dodge, is that there is this Chinese businessman that's going to donate shit tons of medical supplies like face masks and stuff like that around the world. And like, yeah, no, we don't trust you, cunt. You can keep that shit.
Well, here's the funny thing. That's gonna be that episode of The Simpsons, but in real life.
You want to know where Phase 2's coming from? It's all this Chinese medical gear.
Poor Jesse in the chat. He's like, okay, shopping done. I'm like, let me guess, you needed TP. He's like, nope, there wasn't any. I still have 4.5 of 6 original rolls. Oh shit, man, count them squares.
Or have a shower.
I think that you'll be fine. You'll find that you can survive without toilet paper, folks. You will find you can survive without toilet paper.
Dude, I have been for about a week. I'm using rags from work, a bucket, and some soap.
Oh god, I don't need that image, bro.
Dude, I've washed rags my whole life.
I've washed my butt with a rag on a stick.
Not a stick, dude. The stick is for the women like the sticks.
Actually, a good idea to do if you're running low on toilet paper, and MC and Fi will know about this because it's with Army's ration packs. They go for food that actually blocks you up, so you don't have to shit like 5 times whilst in a field.
Yep.
Well, no. And Ant Jack's in the chat. He's like, you got a garden hose with a nozzle and a jet setting, right? Homemade bidet, my friend. Homemade bidet.
Oh, guys, I wish you guys would have seen Chris's stream last night. They had a picture where some guy took the shower head and duct taped it to the inside of his toilet.
We did one on the Rotten Tomatoes drinking game. It is funny as fuck. It's Useless Duck Industries or something like that. They put a drill on a little thing that, like, when you press the button, and Arduino fucking makes the drill pop up to your bumhole and then turns it on. And it's got this hard wire brush on it and all this kind of stuff. But the funniest part was when he puts the test subject on, which is like a little doll, and then he flushes it, and then you see the drill come up, and like the doll sort of pops up a little bit, and it's sort of like, huh? And then all of a sudden it just goes flinging around the fucking toilet bowl. It's funny as hell. It'll remove your anus.
See, this is what happens though when you put people into panic mode. So like a hurricane's coming into New Orleans. What's the first thing they do? They go buy up all the water and fucking food and shit, right? I mean, it's the same thing, but my buddy Dave keeps pointing this out to me. I gotta say it on air. You know, all the toilet paper is gone. All the milk is gone. All the meat is gone. But you know what's still fully stocked? The goddamn pharmacy with all the medicine.
Hang on. That's
what the fuck?
Yeah, we've already had that out here where we've had to tell people don't stock up on, paracetamol, ibuprofen, Ventolin and insulin. Because cunts have been doing that.
Actually, I had to give the rest of my paracetamol to my aunt, but that's because she's gone through chemo. She needs as much painkillers as she can get, and she's going to need them more than me, and she's going to struggle getting them with NHS being under so much stress. Yeah, so she has an actually.
Speaking of stress, Yorkie, how do you think this is going to affect people with severe depression and that already isolate themselves, and their therapist tells them to get out and hang out with friends and to be out there more? Now the government is saying, no, lock yourself away. Do you think suicide rates are going to go up?
I doubt it'd be noticeable.
To be honest, I don't think suicide rates are going to go up that much, if any. But really, the therapist, if they have half a brain, won't say that. They'll say like exercise.
Well, I think Yorkie's right. Yeah, the suicide rates might go up a bit, but no one's going to give a shit because, well, they don't give the fuck in the first place.
Jesse's answer to that one, not my effing problem.
But hey, how mad would it be for introverts at the moment? They don't want to be extroverts because of everyone around the place. They can go walk.
If you
walk
got
around
time
the
to
place.
worry about, that, then this issue isn't very important to you. Hate to say that, but if from a national perspective, if your nation is worried about that, then to be honest, is it really that big a deal across the nation?
Well, I don't believe that we should be shutting down the economy like we are. I believe this is kind of like influenza, and it will blow through, burn itself
But it
out,
isn't.
and be done with it.
But it isn't. But it isn't like influenza.
Mm.
It really isn't.
Dude, that's just like saying that kerosene and nitromethane are the same thing. No, they're completely different animals. Oh, my car will burn both. No, it won't. The nitromethane will explode.
It's just like saying that AIDS is just something that the dirty poofters get. No, it's not.
Okay,
So-
guys. Unfortunately,
No.
I'm gonna have to leave, so I'll talk to you all later.
All right, take it easy,
All
MC.
I am sick.
See you later.
But no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's transferred pretty much the same way as the flu. It gives you pretty much the same symptoms, other than it adds ammonia to it, pneumonia, so your lungs fill up with fluid. That's why we need the ventilators. It is pretty much the same animal. It really is.
No, it isn't. You need to Google the difference between this and influenza.
Okay, hand sanitizer will kill influenza. It won't kill this. This is more infectious. It's easier to transmit from person to person. It has a longer incubation period, and it has much more severe symptoms. For example, influenza does not attack the respiratory system. Your cough is a symptom of your body trying to get rid of it. This stuff does. This stuff destroys your bronchial tubes.
No, it's not a cold virus. You can get the common cold from just fucking going in and out of hot and cold environments and stuff like that.
Okay, well, I don't know. If I'm looking at the rates are way under influenza. The death rate is way below influenza as well. We really don't need to shut down the entire United States. We don't.
Bad dodge. You have to look at the fatality rate. Like, if you have 100,000 people that contract this, how many are killed? You can't just look at the general population, because yes, much more people get influenza, but of course, much more people will die just because much more people get influenza.
Actually, I was going to ask the influenza rates. Is that within your 3 months or however long we've had this for, or is that throughout the entire year? Because you're basically comparing 2 or 3 months worth to an entire year.
That is a very good question. Thank you, Yorkie.
Well, the thing I find funny is that all these fucking wankers that are jumping up on the internet saying, but I had it years ago and I had it in 2018 and I got it in fucking July last year. No, you didn't, dickhead.
It didn't exist.
Yeah, I know.
The thing is this COVID-19 is more like SARS. Think of it more like SARS. Seriously. Like,
I'm just trying to remember which that one was.
Okay, everybody's acting like this is the Black Death all over again. It's not.
No,
I'm sorry, you're not gonna panic mode me anymore. You know what? I was in panic. No. No. Wait a minute. Hey, can I finish? It's my show. Yeah. Oh, okay. No. All right. I will remove from stream if need be. Listen, this isn't the Black fucking Death. You know what my panic was about? Them shutting down the airport so I can get home to my family. That was my panic. I'm home. I no longer give a shit. This is not the Black fucking Death. You're not gonna lose half of humanity over this stupid fucking bat flu. Okay? You're not. So stop acting like we are.
We're not saying it is.
You know how this isn't like the Black Plague? Because the Black Plague was cured from antibiotics. That's how this is not like the Black Plague. This isn't cured by antibiotics. Damn.
What I'm trying to say, though, Dodge, is that kind of an attitude is the reason why it is fucking spreading.
It's the reason why Italy's a fucking shithole right now.
Italy's a shithole because it was always a shithole. That's why it's a shithole.
This made it a lot worse. This was pouring gasoline on a fire. And then being surprised that the whole house is on fire now.
Actually, I'd have to disagree with you, Falcon. With how shitty Italy was, I think they could have done with a good purge or two.
Oh, but that's only because of their stupidity. Like, we need to throw a few dumb cunts off a cliff every now and then. But yeah, no, like it literally is attitudes like that, Dodge. That is the reason why it is spreading, and it will continue to spread. And this is why we're all trying to stop things now, is so that people don't fucking keep spreading it and stuff like that. If you don't get it in the first place, then you don't have to spread it. Then you don't have to worry. This is what we're trying to do.
So you honestly believe hiding in your house is the best policy? Just hide in your house like a scared little kitten.
Well, it is now because
you go to the elderly home center or whatever, and you touch grandma and grandpa, and you just hope to God they don't fucking get it.
Yeah, you want to see grandma 6 months from now? Cool. But fucking stick your ass at home and make sure you don't get it until it passes. Now, like, we're beyond the point of shutting the borders to prevent it from coming in. It's already in because of its inactivity and all this kind of shit. Now we already have it running around the place. We've got to stop it from spreading. And by doing that is to keep away from everybody. It will die off on its own if we don't continue to spread it. Do you see what we mean?
Okay, Captain Colepile says, Jimmy Dore laid a pretty good challenge at your door. Apply libertarianism to this crisis. Challenge accepted.
No,
libertarianism. No, will you let me finish? Okay, yeah, let's not let me finish my fucking sentence here. Thank you. Okay, apply libertarianism. Simple. Do pretty much what Trump's doing. Allow all medications and all fucking vaccines to be tested actively. Take away the FDA blockade and roll with it. Yeah, you might, some bad shit might happen, but according to you guys, this is already the end of the fucking world 2.0. Oh God, hide in your fucking shelter. So you know what? Hide in your fucking shelter. Hide in your fucking shelter and test people and test vaccines rapidly. That way you people can calm down and we can get back to our normal fucking lives.
That's just the states doing what they're supposed to do. They're following the already existing rules.
Yeah, this is something that's
already existing rules. When was the last time in my 35 years on this planet, or my father's 60-something years, that the entire country was fucking locked to their homes?
9/11.
We haven't had this in over
9/11? 9/11, I was walking down the street eating an ice cream sandwich.
Not here in
Okay?
asshole.
Couldn't fly anywhere.
Not here in fucking Virginia, you weren't walking down the street.
I was in Oregon. They didn't lock us down. They shut down the airports for like 8 hours. Whoop-de-fucking-do. That's a layover.
You know what, Mad Dog? Don't take it seriously. I don't give a fuck. Just pray to God no one gets it that you know. Seriously. I hope no one gets it that you fucking know. God forbid your family members. It's not good. This is not good. We are doing what we can as a country. What the fuck else are we supposed to do? Open the borders and let everybody come in and let everybody fucking go to movie theaters and malls and all the other happy horse shit? So this could exponentially spread beyond our able to care for capacity? Our hospitals are already overwhelmed.
What about the people? What about the people that need to pay rent to live, and their landlord isn't taking this quarantine? Like, you still, I want my money. Oh, you don't have my money? You're evicted. Goodbye.
Mad-
Now you're on the
Mad
street
Dog.
with the
You don't have
coronavirus.
You don't have
Now you're on the street.
You don't have eviction protection? I know my fucking state does.
What do you
My
mean
state
eviction
does too.
protection? If the landlord wants the goddamn rent, President Trump ain't gonna tell them they're not
They
getting their
can't do
fucking
that.
rent.
They can't do that.
Yeah, they can. They can and will. And by the way, the courts won't hear the case. So you're just kicked on the street with no repercussions. No
So
recourse.
Here's more the point, though. If you want to pay your rent in 6 months, you need to do this now. Or else you won't be around in 6 months to pay it.
Well, also, Mad Dodge, back to my fire analogy. If you have a grease fire in a cast iron pan in your kitchen, you put it out. Real quick, just throw some sand on it, use a fire extinguisher or something. You don't go and try to put it out when the entire kitchen is on fire.
Okay, Adam in the chat. No, what President Trump did was stopped mortgages. That is homeowners, not renters. There's no protection for that car salesman who can no longer go out and sell cars. There is zero protection for him. He can get evicted. Oh, and the governor of Oregon locked down the state. So you get evicted and you're driving down the road, now you're a criminal.
Oh, Matt, what was the code you told me a couple months ago? Move out of Virginia. Why don't you move the fuck out of Oregon then? Because Virginia has those protections.
I want to move out of
We do
Oregon.
here
My
too
wife
in
won't.
Georgia.
Honestly, my wife won't move out. I already was looking at land in Louisiana when I was down there, and my wife won't move out of Oregon. So there's your
it's
answer.
so easy to just pick up and leave your fucking state, right? Wow, what a novel fucking concept. Now you
What a
understand
novel
it.
concept. It would be easy if my wife would go. But it's
you're
my
not gonna
wife.
leave your fucking wife, right?
Right. So I'm stuck in Oregon. Yeah, and Captain Copile said he only stopped HUD evictions. The president cannot overreach. He can only stop the federal level of stuff.
Is covering all that shit.
No, it's not.
Have you read the bill? You didn't read the bill.
The bill that didn't pass?
The bill is going to pass, but they are making certain concessions to it. Jesus.
It didn't pass. It was struck down today. It didn't pass.
Dude, they're making changes to it and they're going to resubmit it.
Oh my god.
Woo, whoop-de-fucking-do. We're back to the fucking house then, aren't we? Do you not understand how this works? The bill you're talking about is dead.
No, obviously you don't know how this fucking works. Damn.
The bill was struck down. The bill is dead. If you change the bill and resubmit it, then you start it in the house again.
No, dude, it goes through a committee before it gets submitted. All that has happened, it has been kicked back to committee.
Dude, Schoolhouse Rock is free on YouTube. You can look up how a bill works. With
Oh, fuck yourself.
With pictures.
Fuck yourself, really.
And I have little cartoons.
I think he preferred the pop-up box.
Didn't they even do a Simpsons episode on that?
Yes!
Good God.
Dude,
No, dear God.
this
No,
shit is
all
so
I'm hearing,
simple.
no, all I'm hearing out of you people is government give me free money. Government lock me in my home. Government protect me. Government.
I don't think any of us said
How about
that.
how about you protect your goddamn self?
Well,
How about
Mad
that?
Dodge, you're full of shit.
All I'm hearing from you, Dodge, is the whole fucking argument. But I've been drunk with my mates and shot guns, and we haven't shot each other. So what's the problem?
You know what?
Hey,
Fuck you,
exactly.
Farty. No, you know what? Fuck
It's
you,
true,
dude.
though.
No, it's not. No,
that's
what you
exactly
need
what
is
I
your own
sound like.
self-fucking-reliance when you keep handing your hand out to the government who shut down the economy and then is gonna fucking hyperinflate your currency by shipping out how much money per person? You think that's a good fucking economic principle to stand on right now? Are you fucking shitting
What
me?
solution do you have?
Are you...
I know
Are you...
it's a massive
don't shut down the economy!
I know it's
What
a massive
solution do you
con,
have?
the handout is a massive con. I mean, like, we've done this before in the global financial crisis where everyone got their $800. I was kind of against it because I didn't need the $800 at the time, where I thought that a means test would have been better. So if you actually were like a few $1,000s behind in your mortgage, which was the whole point of this $800 in the first place, to stop inflation rates and whatnot, that they could get my $800 and the $800 of somebody else. Now, fucking Bill Gates and cunts like that don't need this $1,000, so why, there's every American fucking looking to get it. So the people who don't need it don't need to get it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's a means test. But the reason why everybody did get it is because they knew that people were going to piss it against the wall, smoke it, or put it through their car, the 3 highest tax things in this country. And in a couple of months' time, they go, hey, look, we got 45% of it back. Aren't we good? Yay! And then they'll shut the fuck up about it, because then they won't answer the questions of like, well, how'd you get the rest back? Because they don't, they won't, and they didn't. But $1,000 right now, that's what, an average of about what, a month and a bit's rent, 2 months rent in most cases.
My rent's $700
a month.
Yeah, it'll get me through a month.
It's about a month and a half.
Okay, first off, you wanted to know my solution. Don't shut down the economy. That's my solution. So, Aunt Jack, the issue is people like Mad that let government do what they are doing because they refuse to be responsible. I'm arguing the fucking opposite, you dumb piece of shit. Like, are you not listening to English? I'm arguing the opposite. These 3 are arguing the government should protect us.
No,
God damn, are you fucking stupid?
Mitigate the effects.
Mitigate the effects. Okay.
Mitigate the effects.
Mitigate the effects. Okay, a good idea would be stock up on 2 months worth of stuff and go camping in the woods, right? That way you're isolated and you can't catch it. Oh, the government shut down all forest camping in Oregon. Okay,
well,
so the government
have that option. Not only that, have you actually been in an outbreak before? Because I can tell you, I fucking have. I was on the regiment in 2015. We had the flu go straight through the whole regiment. 600 out of about 1,000 of us were all laying in our beds. So you don't tell me that I don't know a damn thing about this.
I like that argument. Don't make me get sick in my home. Make me run away from it.
Okay, first off, if an outbreak happens and you're stuck in your homes when you're living wall to wall in enclosed apartment complexes, that enclosed apartment complex becomes a breeding ground for said virus. So you can yell and holler all you want. I've done the same. That's fine. I don't care. It's the redeye. Roll on. But you can't tell me staying in a densely populated area is going to fucking protect you, even if you're locked in your goddamn house.
No, staying away from other people is what's going to protect you.
Oh, so camping in the middle of the woods, like I said, but that's outlawed.
Dude, what we're saying is, okay, let's say this, let's use a hospital as an analogy. When you isolate someone, oh, they're in a hospital. Yeah, they're in a building with a bunch of other people, but they are not they cannot they can't get to anybody else.
Yeah, they're separated by this.
Okay, true. But you could do that at the beginning of an outbreak. When the beds start becoming full, you start becoming a triage situation. And then you cannot separate them, and it becomes a breeding ground. Look at a battlefield hospital. Same thing there. It becomes a breeding ground for disease. And not only the disease you're fighting, but other diseases that affect weakened immune systems.
Or
okay?
You could do what I have been saying the whole fucking time and shut down your borders and not let cunts in the first place. Yeah, then you wouldn't have had it to be worried about it. Yeah. But no, we can't do that because of bleeding hearts and shit.
Bleeding hearts and shit. Okay. I am sitting in my house. You're acting like I'm running around. You called me Typhoid Mary. Fuck you, dude. I'm doing what they say. Here I am, speaking into my microphone, doing what they fucking say. My wife went to go get food and she's coming straight back. That's it. So you know what? Fuck the lot of you. Second, it's not gonna help. It's not going to help anything. Okay? The postal office is still running. Airplanes are still flying. The National Guard is being deployed. That's a lot of people in one group. What if one National Guard member catches it? And then Oz in the chat worrying about government fucking power grab. That's what I'm talking about. You're looking at this disease. You're not looking at the big picture when it comes to American politics or world politics. You're not looking at it. This is a prime time to seize power.
For fuck's sake, no. Like, this is why I was taking the piss out of fucking twoofers a couple of weeks ago. It's like, where are the truthers whinging about the fucking FEMA camps? Because this is the one instance where a FEMA camp will be fucking used as a normal piece of thing. But no, of course, it's got to seize power, and the government's this and that, and they've got to send all the best people to FEMA camps and shit. You've already said that, like, they were going to send all the plague people off the plague boats and stuff. Like, that's not the fucking case. That's why we have FEMA camps and shit like that. It's a federal emergency management as bloody monkeys. Like, this is a federal fucking emergency. They're the cunts who are going to be managing it. Crying out loud. Fucking Christ. But like what I've been saying.
No, see, I really hate people like you sometimes, Farty. I like you, but people like you piss me off. No, seriously. Because, no, they are going to put the sick and dying in those camps. Where else are they going to put them? Where else? No, seriously. And then you're like, oh my God, you're a conspiracy theorist. The fucking Department of Health came out herself and said we should do this every year for influenza. Are you kidding me? You want to grind the economy to a halt every year?
That's because I'm not a dill pickle. I do actually fucking know what's going on. Like with Ebola, for example, because of the way that people manage their dead people in Sierra Leone, it was a fucking case of the people who had Ebola are basically fucking dead. You go off into a little camp and you fuck off and die, and we'll have people who have hazmat suits deal with your dead body. You're not going to stay at home, die and sweat and piss and shit all over the place, and everybody start touching your body once you're dead and get infected and then infect every other bastard. Like these, in some cases, and this is what we're at right now because we don't have a cure for it. Yes, if you do get it, you should go somewhere and then fucking, if you don't fucking die, cool, then fucking come back. But the whole point I'm trying to say is that we should have fucking locked our borders down right from the fucking beginning and not let any cunt in. But what we didn't do was exactly that. And then every time we tried to do it, the Chinese were saying, but that's racist and fucking, but our students need to study and shit like that. And we fucking fell for that kind of crap. And now we do have it within our borders. Now we have to deal with how we need to deal with it at this present moment. And this does mean everybody needs to fuck off and separate. Everybody needs to stop fucking spreading it. Don't go to your fucking grandmother's bloody nursing home and shit like that and spread it there. Don't go to social gatherings and stuff like that. Don't go to workplaces if you don't necessarily need to do it. Like GameStop, for example, you can get lots of games online. You don't need to actually go and get physical media anymore. You don't need to go to a cafe where some drippy nipple cunt from fucking India who's a dirty fucker anyway and thinks that like, oh yeah, my flu is just the flu, but he makes you a bloody bacon and egg roll and he sneezed and coughed all over it because he is coughing up like he's just drank a fucking half the Ganges bloody river, and then you've eaten it not knowing that he's got it, and then you're going to be sitting there bitching that like, there's some dirty fucking wog bastard's just giving me this fucking woo flu. Like, this is how we got to try and stop it, man. And everyone's going to have to fucking give up a few liberties for a little while.
It's just mitigating risk.
Exactly. Militarily, I reckon, yeah, no problems. Yeah, we should have had the military involved a hell of a lot earlier because they are the people who are generally trained in how to deal with things like this. And remember, there's a reason why the B in NBC exists. It's biological warfare. These are like viruses and stuff like that, and antigens that fucking typically kill people, like with sicknesses and whatnot. That's the point of that. And this is where I keep saying this has been weaponized, and we should have treated this like a war hell of a lot earlier, but we didn't.
I agree with that.
Okay, you think I'm being like Alex Jones-ish? Maybe a little bit for show, but no. The thing is, though, the states locking down is not good. The stock market, that tumble it took, will it recover? Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe.
Absolutely it will.
No, see, things don't just recover overnight. They drop overnight. They recover over years.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's always bounced up and down.
And what we've also
Not that, okay, Falcon, not that big of a drop ever in your lifetime, I guarantee it.
Okay.
Don't give me that
Okay,
shit.
what physical assets have actually moved? During that drop, was there a giant change in where shit was? No. It was 99% people panicking.
And what we also know from these instances as well is that typically when it does recover, it improves almost double. So say it's at fucking 10 points today, or 10 points before this, it drops to 5 points. It'll actually go up to 15 by the end of this. So, like, yeah, the big panic is the people panic selling so they can get their money now when they don't need to. They just hold on to their shares, let it drop, then hit the bottom, and then when it starts coming back up, when everyone's hopefully cured of this shit and it's over, then fucking they'll make more money on whatever they've fucking kept.
That's exactly why I've been debating on buying some General Electric stock, because they haven't been doing good for a little while. This isn't really going to be the best for them, but they tend to bounce back after stuff like this.
And it's also the stupid people involved too, because it's the stupid people that haven't learnt from prior instances who are panic selling and all this kind of stuff, because they seem to think if they don't sell now, well, then they'll lose all their money, which is further from the truth. They're actually causing the stock market crash because they keep selling, and there's so much of an abundance of shares lying around. They're literally worth nothing because of the economy of scale. They're not rare, so they're not worth anything. And it's the same thing with the whole shutting down the borders thing. You got people who are told, yes, you should self-isolate. Hang on, you've got the sniffles, go home for 2 weeks. No, I'm going to fucking free travel and shit because the next state over's got a good weed house or something like that. I can get medicinal weed or something. No, I'm going to go travel over to another state. No, you really should for 2 weeks. No, fuck you, my rights and all this kind of stuff. All right, well, if you're going to act like that, we'll fucking put you in a place whether you like it or not. And it's those
See, I
kinds
don't
of
like
people.
that. No, see.
It's just mitigating risk.
Mitigating risk.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the better of the whole, save the few.
Okay, why do you wear a seatbelt?
I wear a seatbelt because if I don't, they're going to give me a ticket. That's why.
No. Realistically, the reason why you wear a seatbelt is you don't plan on having an accident. It is an absolute
No.
Can happen.
No, I told you the truth because the seatbelt, 3 out of 7 times kills the person, not the wreck. The seatbelt does. It snaps your neck from impact. Or the goddamn fucking airbag snaps your neck backwards and breaks it. And yeah, you could say I'm wrong, but you could also go Google some fucking shit and look at it yourself, buddy, because I'm not fucking wrong.
Well, they're wearing the fucking seatbelt wrong. If you use something wrong, yeah, it can kill you.
And in proper
Stall an
seating
airplane
position.
at 500 feet, it absolutely will wreck the airplane.
Wait, so I'm not meant to wrap the seatbelt around my throat.
Yeah. And in
No,
proper seating
wearing it
position-
right with the cross belt when it locks and you fucking hit on impact at 55, it will and can snap your fucking neck. Don't tell me it can't. I've seen it.
I'm gonna guess it saves more lives than it actually kills.
Not necessarily. It's the illusion of safety. Just like this lockdown is the illusion of safety.
Yorkie is actually correct, and Farty, you are a first responder. Could you please speak your piece?
Right, now, an airbag going off is the equivalent of basically a shotgun blast going off in your face. If you, like a lot of people that I see, sit right up close to the fucking steering wheel, you have that thing going right off in front of your face. But if you drive with, how you're supposed to, with your arms almost fully extended, like with a slight kink in your elbows and stuff like that, the airbag won't even touch you. It's the launch forward, and you're supposed to hit it like a cushion. It's already supposed to be deployed when your face hits it, not as it's going off. And you'll find that a lot of people whose whose necks get broken in a seatbelt collision or fucking have their face smashed in. And yes, I've actually seen a couple of instances where infants have been killed by passenger side airbags, but they weren't restrained in their proper seats and all this kind of stuff. Mummy was actually literally holding it, and they were so close to the airbag that it actually fucking nearly decapitated one of them. Now, if you don't use something properly, as Falcon did say, yes, it's going to fucking hurt you more often than not. And it also does depend on the speed of the accident. And you'll find that a lot of people who have been in incidents that fucking where the seatbelts fucking killed them have been driving so insanely faster than the fucking speed limit, or have been involved in an incident that was so much more violent that most likely the fucking rest of the collision was going to kill them as well. So there.
Okay. I would like to point to the statistics for 2008. Over 10,691 people. Oh, still more than the beer flu. Died in auto crashes while wearing their seatbelts. Most of them, most likely, from broken necks. So, Exhibit A. Yeah.
And that doesn't say anything about how fast all of these accidents were, and
It doesn't, but you're arguing seatbelts save lives. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But what it is an illusion of safety.
Mad Dog,
No, you're
does
taking
that
one
say
tiny
cause
little
of
point.
death?
You're taking one tiny little point and then broadcasting it all over everything else. So you're basically saying to me you have a 20-mile-an-hour accident where you're wearing a seatbelt and the seatbelt's going to wrap around your neck. Where most accidents actually happen.
Is that what I said at all?
Yes.
No, I never said anything about the seatbelt wrapping around your neck. It's the stop action that the seatbelt does that snaps your neck.
You know what the purpose of a seatbelt is? It is to distribute the load. Think of it this way: if you're wearing a Kevlar vest and I shoot you with a 45 auto chambered 1911, it'll stop the bullets. It's gonna hurt like hell, but it distributes the load. If you're not wearing that vest and I shoot you, bullet goes right into you, and you're down. You're done. It's all about
I think you guys
the
are just arguing with me to argue with me, because even the chat's like rear-facing child seat, talking about how airbags kill people, whiplash. There's one in your favor. It keeps you from hitting the windshield. That's true. But, seriously, I think you guys are just arguing with me to argue with me. And that's fine. We could play this game all night. But the thing remains. It's your individual choice whether or not you wear a seatbelt. Are you willing to take the ticket? No, I'm not. I put on the seatbelt.
I just detailed to you exactly how airbags can and do kill people. Like I said, I've seen an incident where a baby got decapitated by a fucking airbag. Now, if you're going to drive in an incorrect position and use the safety equipment improperly, then yes, it's going to hurt you, not help you. And but you're saying that I'm only driving 20 miles an hour and then I don't have to wear a seatbelt because it's going to kill me. No, the seatbelt in that respect isn't even going to try and help you and save you there, because you're not even traveling fast enough that you're going to get yourself hurt in the first place.
All right, Jesse says, I was a first responder for 4 years. I can tell you a secret. The only thing that's going to keep you alive in a car accident is being completely drunk. Yes, and I know why that is. I know why that is, because you go completely limp and you let your body go with where the car is taking you. So you take less of a beating that way.
And also, too, the ethanol acts like a painkiller.
Yeah, because, you ever been falling asleep, right? And you get that dream where you're falling and you jump? That's what you do in a car wreck when you're sober, is you stiffen, right? And that's what causes most of your injuries.
Some people actually don't do that.
Yeah, well, for most people, it's it's a reflex.
I understand.
And you'll find also, too, that a lot of people who do get broken necks are actually blindsided by the incident. It's not them colliding with something, it's someone colliding with them. So they're just normally...
Sometimes a side impact.
Yeah, all airbags and seatbelts can do is reduce the potential damage. Like, if you get hit from both ends by two oncoming trucks, you're fucked either way.
Mm-hmm.
No, and Aunt Jack says, how is it a choice when you have to pay a fine or wear a seatbelt? See, I think it should be a choice. Now, if you want to be like me and not wear the seatbelt, then if I die, it's on me, right? If you want to wear the seatbelt and it kills you, that's on you. The government shouldn't instruct us on what to do. Same with this beer flu. If you want to hide in your house and listen like we're doing, my wife just got back from the store. They went straight to the store and back. That's it.
No, we didn't.
No, they also went and found some hookers and caught the flu. No, I'm kidding. But, then, that's what you want to do. If you want to go out and go to a funeral, go to a social gathering, then that's on you as well.
Then change your name to Luigi or Mario or Giuseppe.
But why should the government direct us on what to do here? And you haven't convinced me that they should. And
Because
you've been
you
trying
clearly don't
to.
know what's going on.
That's because
I know what's going on, and I still don't trust the government. The worst words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help." Okay? No, I'm not gonna buy it. So try and sell me some manure.
Run it out, James.
Okay, hippie.
Yeah. Watch out for them freaking gay frogs, man. They'll try and freaking make you gay too.
Oh, and buy my special filters. They'll filter out viruses.
Hey,
Yeah.
don't fuck with the gay frogs. They'll push you off the flat earth.
Oh yeah, here's my iodine water. It'll protect you from even the nuclear nasties.
A lot of people don't even know like what the iodine is supposed to do. Like idiots. Oh, it'll protect me from the radiation.
People are Americans.
How many of you are Americans? Only one.
Thankfully,
Only
not.
Well, therein lies your problem. You are listening to people that are on the other side of the pond. Yes, I am very aware your microphone is live. You're listening to people that are from across the pond, expecting them to have sympathies about a government that they openly laugh at and fucking mock. Come on.
Yeah, in other words,
Orange man bad, dude. What the fuck? And I'm not even from over the pond, dude. I'm from across a few oceans.
Dude, at this point, we're laughing at you.
Man, we're all in the same fucking boat here, dude. Like, you're nothing special.
okay, no. See, the thing is, he's hurt because you're laughing at Dave. Poor Dave. Dave's not here anymore, man. Yeah, welcome to the internet.
Let me just press an F for him.
But here's the thing. You're not going to sell me that fucking bullshit. You're not. You're not going to tell me the government knows what they're doing because look at New York and I'll point to you 20,000 people that know better. they know that New York doesn't know what they're doing. So yeah, Trump's talking to all the idiot governors like Governor Lesbo from Oregon, respectively. Like she knows what's going on. No, dude, these people are lost in the woods.
No, I have actually been saying the whole time that even my government's been fucking things up because they don't fucking listen, don't fucking do the right bloody thing. What I have been telling you is exactly what you should be doing during a fucking an outbreak of something like this. It's not what the governments are doing because they're still doing shit wrong, but there are things that they are doing that are typical to what you should be doing, like fucking isolation and all this kind of stuff, locking down your borders. They fucking failed on that. Like, I'm talking about your international borders. Okay, so right, we've got Californians who believe the whole fucking peace, love, and mung beans, free love, and all this kind of shit. Oh, well, okay, they're going to shut down California. Quick, let's exit us to fucking Georgia or Oregon, and then they'll bring it to you. Well, do you want that fucking shit happening? Some fucking hippie setting up their tent outside your front door going, hey, the world's my oyster, man. Hey, come here, give me a kiss, man. Peace and love. And then they're fucking giving it to you. This is the shit we're trying to fucking stop, not the government.
There's one guy that flew about a week ago from about a week and a half ago from Egypt to Atlanta where he lived. and then drove down here for a funeral, spread it to a whole bunch of other people, then checked into Phoebe, was there for a day or two, shipped up to back up to Atlanta, where he died 5 days later. And now here in my city, we have we just hit 100 cases at 6 a.m. this morning.
100 is 100 cases the end of the world?
Dude, 100 cases in 3 days.
And who have those 100 people been?
No, it was 100 cases in 3 weeks, and you fucking know it.
No,
The incubation time. The incubation time alone.
Hey. I live here. I keep track of the news here. I know that. I know people at that hospital.
Dude, that's not what I was saying. I was saying the incubation period is 2 weeks. So 100 cases popped up. That means they caught it 2 weeks ago.
That's
Dude,
when
it can
they
be anywhere
found
from
out.
a day or 2 to 4 weeks later. The incubation period can be short or very, very long.
And these are the ones that we know about. These are the ones that have presented themselves to a hospital and actually been tested and all this kind of stuff. These are the results that we've got back already. Now, there's obviously more of these people that haven't been to hospital yet and who have been running around town. Now, who have these 100 people been associated with? And then, who have those people been associated with? And then, who have those people been associated with? That's the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, and
all be
Falcon...
traced back to this one dumbass.
Falcon. Of course, there's a patient 0 who brought it in, obviously. I'm not going to argue with you there. But yeah, you live there and you're following the news. Good for you. But the incubation period alone, the news isn't going to tell you shit, dude. So you can't yell at me and holler like I'm an idiot when I say those 300 cases or 100 cases popped up. They were already had it for like a week and a half at least, or a week, or 5 days, or fucking 17. However many the average equals out to.
Yeah, but irrespective of that, it's fucking who have these people now been involved with, and then who have they been involved with? It's the argument with these dickheads who came into Sydney on these cruise ships that we just let run around the place. There's 40-something of them that were confirmed cases. Now we've got to run around and try and find all these random people that these cunts had come in contact with, putting those people who are now investigating this in danger too. And even if fucking they don't. Even if they don't get it themselves, or they do get it, and they're now investigating it, they won't find out for a few days, but they're now fucking walking around people who potentially don't get it, or don't have it in the first place, giving it to them because they're trying to find the people who do have it. And this is how these things kind of spread. This is the reason why, like, New York was such a fucking drama, because you only had one person needed to get into Times Square and fucking sneeze on 2 other people. And then the 2 turns to 4, 4 turns to 8, 8 turns to fucking 900, and 900 turns to 10,000. This is what we were trying to stop. This is now
exactly.
You can't stop.
Guys.
Oh my God.
If we had prevented this one guy from coming back to this country with this, then hundreds of people would not be sick, and so far 7 deaths.
Okay, 7 deaths. Once again, small number. Second, stop this one guy from entering the country. This one guy. So how about I throw a needle in a haystack and I don't let you have a magnet or matches? Find a needle. Okay? You're gonna have the one guy. These viruses are gonna spread. It's happened over and over. I'm a goddamn history major, dude. Bachelor's in history. Fucking, are you kidding me right now?
And do you have training for dealing with
you know
pandemics?
how many plagues swept through Rome? $2 for Penoids, mad. What's up? What up, Penoid, man? Scroll up in the chat. Links in there if you want to jump on. But okay, you cannot stop the needle in the haystack. So what you have to do is deal with the aftermath without changing your life so drastically.
Prevent the needle from entering the haystack in the first place. Not only that, but yes, you're educated on history. Do you have any training for dealing with pandemics?
Do you?
I actually do. From the Department of Homeland Security,
sources, please. Oh, the Coast Guard. So you can stop someone from drowning. That sounds like a real pandemic. No.
Yeah.
So here's
You're
the thing.
a fucking dumbass who lives in his house talking about shit that he doesn't know.
Bye.
Jesus Christ, you're a whiny little bitch today, aren't you, mate?
Oh, I'm a whiny little bitch? I'm a whiny little bitch. You have what, a year and a half in the Coast Guard and you know everything about pandemics? Go fuck yourself.
He did say he did get training from the Homeland Security as well, but you talked over it when he said that.
No, the argument still remains. Oh, you're going to stop the needle from entering the haystack. No, you're not. These viruses are going to spread. They've always spread. Ebola has spread, even though they contain it. And they burn entire areas, entire villages. It's still spread.
Yeah, well, Ebola was made only an epidemic because Sierra Leone did, and Ghana and Liberia did lock down their borders. And, well, one guy did get out and go back to the Congo, and guess what's happening in the Democratic Republic of the Congo at the moment? One guy. But we did. This is the point, though, Dodge. This is what I'm saying, is we did have the opportunity to stop the fucking needle from entering the haystack in the first place. And the South Australian government were doing shit like, oh, well, it's too hard, basket, because I guess we spoke to this American guy called Mad Dodge, so we're not even going to bother. Here's a pamphlet saying what you should and shouldn't do. We're not going to actually make you do anything. So off you go. Where are you going now? Oh, I'm going to a house auction. Oh, a public one? Yeah. Oh, okay. Have fun.
Okay, Jesse says, the point is that it's going to spread, of course. But with more time, we can burn it out a little easier. Yes. See, you guys act like I'm saying there's no problem. I never said that. I'm saying don't drastically change the world over a virus. Okay? Because this shit has happened repeatedly throughout history.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. So do you want to know how we sorted out the Spanish flu out here? And this is like, we're talking 1920s, right? We had a whole bunch of quarantine centres that we've had pretty much since this place was fucking settled. And we chucked every bastard coming into the place, remembering it was only through ships at that point in time. Every cunt had to go through the quarantine centre before they were let into general population. Now, I don't understand why this is such a fucking foreign concept to us, at least, because, like, we actually use these quarantine centres as fucking tourist attractions nowadays. There's ghost tours through some of them and everything. And we're not even hiding the fact that these were quarantine centres. In fact, the bad shit that used to happen in this, like cunts dying and people committing suicide and even bloody raping and murdering nurses and stuff like that, that's all part of the tour. This is like why, it's so popular and shit like that. But, oh shit, we've got to quarantine some people because they got the sniffles. Yeah, that's what we were doing like 100 years ago. It's exactly what we were doing.
No, what? Yeah, but you know what they didn't do during the Spanish flu? They didn't shut down the entire economy and then issue checks to each and every individual to create hyperinflation and also make a power grab where they're talking about, like I've said repeatedly, we should do this for influenza. That's every fucking year.
What else happened during the 1920s? There was a little depression. Wasn't it called the Great Depression?
Actually, that was the 30s. Get your fucking time zone straight.
Yeah, 1930s.
Well, there you go. Still same shit deal.
No, it's not.
No,
you said 20s, and you guys have been
it's all
hammering me for every word I say tonight. So I'm going to hammer you on that.
All right. Yo. Dude, the Fed just announced this morning QE Infinity. They said their open asset buying program, there will be no limit to how much money they're going to throw at the problem.
Mm-hmm. It's open checkbook.
QE Infinity.
That's insane.
Well, yeah, dude. But like I'm saying, QE motherfucking Infinity. On top of that, they want to hand out $1.5 trillion, which by the way, in the whole amount of cash in the entire nation is $1.5 trillion. You're going to double the amount of cash in the entire nation in 3 months. And on top of that, you're standing here telling and then on top of that, you're going to stand here and close down every business that doesn't involve basically food or healthcare. And on top of that, you're going to stand here and spend another $1 trillion on the healthcare industry inside of the United States of America. And you're going to have all this money chasing after just food and healthcare because literally you are not allowed to operate any other business. And it's going to cause hyperinflation. You're going to be wheelbarrowing $100 bills into the fucking store to buy fucking loaves of bread. This is Weimar Republic nonsense. All over a goddamn fucking flu that we should have just let go. Like, we should have just let this wipe out some of the population. We were off if we did not sell our future generations and enslave them to debts that they didn't agree to and sit here and destroy their buying power, right? All the boomers who are over the age of 60 to begin with.
Well, I'll be buggered. Those fucking sovereign citizens were right.
What?
Well, no. See, the thing is, Farty, this is what I've been saying, man. The flu itself, or whatever, the fucking virus, is bad. Okay, I can agree with that. But it's not as bad as the government response. And this is where you guys keep laughing at me. Well, now I have a little bit of backup. Pinoy, take it away.
Yo, man, look, man, listen, I've been going to war on my channel about this, and like legit, nigga, I've been seeing some serious growths at the night. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you like this: this virus is not that bad. All right, legitimately, the numbers that like anybody has coming out are all just everybody over the age of 60, and there hasn't been one child that has died from this. Not one child under the age of 10 years old has died from this disease, but we're selling our entire future up the river elderly. This is fucking nonsense. Anybody who is anybody in the history of mankind would have never made this deal. Like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. So we're going to stand here, all right, and over what they're talking about, even if we let this run through the country, it only been 450,000 deaths. Right? Every year, like, what is it? 4 million people die in car accidents. Like, the fuck out of here. This is the dumbest shit in the history of mankind. And they're literally going to indebt our grandkids for the next 30 to 40 to 50 years to pay for this response. And then what happens when there's another virus? Are we going to do this again and indebt and enslave our, our future generations again without their permission? In order to sit here and like try to deal with some nonsense virus because us smart monkeys decided that we should be living till we're 80. Fuck this. It's like having a dog. All right. It used to be you had a dog and it got sick. You shot it in the head and you went and got another dog. Now your dog gets sick and you go and you spend fucking $10,000 at the vet to try and keep it alive. This is the dumbest shit ever. This is about feelings over logic and rational sense. And you're literally causing slavery to your future generations and my children and Mad Dodge's children to save some old people. This is fucking bullshit. And cancer patients and individuals, who are like already sick with AIDS.
Well, no, and the thing is, like, the government itself, okay, you give this power to President Trump. Maybe you think that's a good idea. But it's the same argument when the Democrats gave a bunch of power to Obama. What happens when the other side has the same power? I mean, we can't do this. We cannot let the government tell us to stay inside or else. It's a misdemeanor now. What happens when people keep going outside and they switch it to a felony? Dude, we cannot let a virus control our lives.
That's some fucking hippie bullshit nonsense there. We can't help let a virus control our lives because it's government. Fucking shit. Oh, for fuck's sake.
It sounds like to me, though, that you got your hand out and you're saying, government, please help me, protect me, hug me, hold me. No, I refuse to be that way.
What part of I'm not actually supporting my government didn't you understand? I've already said this 3 times already. I've outlined how they're doing things wrong.
Well, I'm with your ideology, Farty. But like in America they run on a different operating system than everybody else does. There isn't an American male over the age of 30 who doesn't know the phrase, those who trade essential liberties for safety deserve neither and receive none. All right. That, all right, is how America feels about giving up their freedom for government and for little bullshit safety things. This is something that is unacceptable in the United States of America. We are literally shredding our constitution and our freedoms for, again, a disease that's gonna happen again. They're talking about suspending habeas corpus at this point. This is fucking bullshit.
Yeah, but it's a little hard to go and rob your liquor store when you can't go outside in the first place.
You can't go outside in the first place. Hey, may the chains hang lightly around your neck, and may your countrymen forget you were ever one of us.
What do you mean? Like, you can't go outside you can go outside, like literally, like you can walk out your door.
You missed that part of the conversation.
Like, that's a very German phrase. Like a German will go, yeah, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I just woke up, and that's why I'm all like frazzled at the second.
No, earlier in the conversation, we were talking about martial law and how they're going to try and keep us all in our homes. Which is, if they suspend habeas corpus, that's why they suspended it, is to do that. So walking down the street can get you shot, is what Farty's talking about. And once again, may the chains hang lightly around your neck.
For fuck's sake.
Yo, please do that. Yo, I would beg for that. Literally, like us, we were out of eggs, and I went and bought 700 rounds of ammunition.
Man, I actually can't wait for this supposed government takeover and all this kind of stuff. All the shit Mad and bloody Alex Jones and shit are talking about. So just so when it doesn't fucking happen, I can fucking laugh at them.
It's already kind of happened. They've already said it's illegal to go anywhere other than the grocery store or a gas station.
Yeah, essential services. It's the same thing.
Okay, and McDonald's is essential?
Well, they're providing food. They're especially to Donald Trump. He won't eat anything else.
Yeah, it's kind of retarded that they're letting McDonald's and stuff open. That's just, corporations getting away with shit. Pardon? So you're completely...
What up, man?
Then. Oh, I'm doing okay. How's yourself?
Man, it's been a minute. I ain't fucking seen you in forever.
Yeah. Yeah, just existing. Been looking for work, which became a little bit trickier now. Other than that, just...
I feel you. I'm on the same level.
I guess another reason why this whole government handout shit doesn't bother me is because I want a bloody pension anyways. I mean, this is working out really great for me because I'm getting more and more money. So, but doing fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, the government's protecting people that own property and have to pay a mortgage. They're not protecting the renter. You know, that guy that works at the car wash, barely getting by, has 2 kids and a wife. They've only been married 6 months or a year, and, they're just trying to get by. They're going to get evicted. And then when they're out on the street, they're going to get arrested.
Okay, Penoid might be able to back me up on this one, but the whole point of protecting the mortgages specifically is because the mortgages are run by banks, which are on the stock market and all this kind of stuff, which was what happened with the global financial crisis when people were defaulting on their mortgage loans and shit like that, which pushed the interest rates up and all this kind of crap. So you got to protect those kinds of things to keep your economy running, which is something that you're actually talking about, Dodge, about shutting down the economy. This is one action that's trying to keep it going. So...
Yo, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Yeah.
This is what they do. Is one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another.
Yeah. See, unfortunately, renters just paying dead money to other people who typically own those properties, and that's not going through the banks or the financial system or the economy and all that kind of stuff. So it is a case of fuck the renters.
Well,
Yeah.
what are they supposed to do? You know, like I own my home, I pay lot rent. If they tried to evict me, the courts are shut down, so they couldn't. So I'm all right. But I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the dude in the apartment complex. You know what I mean?
Well, they can't be evicted either, right? Donald Trump actually actions for evictions in the United States through the HUD housing and the fair housing people on the housing council, because you actually have to have approval, like go through step-by-step process to get it done, like through them for the courts to be able to approve it. And most of your municipal courts throughout the nation are all shut down anyway. So like, yeah,
Yes.
you know, I mean, you don't have to really worry about that. No one's getting kicked out of their house.
So I guess it'd be a case of like if you did get an eviction notice, you could look at it, laugh, wipe your ass with it, and flush it down the toilet. And if they tried to act on it, no one's going to back them up on that act.
Okay. All right. I'll take your word for it, and I'll stop that argument. Fair enough. I still think government overreach and hyperinflation is an issue. You're not going to back me off of that.
It is absolutely an issue.
Yeah, hyperinflation is bad. Yeah,
that's about math.
Yeah, actually, how much did you say it was again? 1.5 trillion for America, I mean.
That's how much cash they've actually got.
All right, I thought that's how much they were actually handing out.
No, but they are in debt 3 trillion to China anyway. So
Well, last I heard, the bill said 2 $1,000 checks per adult citizen, and then $500 per child. That's the last I heard.
Well, here's another thing that we're doing out here that's not going to be great for the stock market, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm not living till my retirement anyway, so I'm getting my grubby little mitts on it. Is that they're going to give us access to our superannuation up to $20,000, which is great because I get to clean out my bank accounts with that. And then, you know, but what will happen there is because of our superannuation funds were designed to remove the old age pension. Basically, when I was born, as soon as I started working, I'm supposed to put a certain amount of my wage away to this trust fund account that I get access to once I'm over 65. And these are sort of run through I think it's more the cash side of our stock market and all this kind of shit. So if the stock market falls, a lot of people lose their superannuation anyways. But the point is, if I do live to 65, well, I won't have this next egg, which I'm not getting anyways because I haven't worked for about 15 years now. And I'm basically not going to be working for the rest of my life. So, yeah, like that $20,000 wasn't going to fucking do me any good, even if I lived that long. But I can't touch it until then, like unless I'm like, you know, no shit, fucking out in the streets, flat fucking broke, or I'm dying of a terminal illness, which I'm guaranteeing that they'd fucking dick fart around and all this kind of stuff, and like, oh, wait till he dies, and hopefully everyone will just leave it there, so they can gain interest off it. But if a lot of people take $20,000 out of their superannuations, that'll also tank the stock market because it's also going to take a drain. Like it's almost like, you know, selling shares and shit like that. There's nothing there to gain the interest off. But you know what? Fuck it. I want my 20 grand now, so I can enjoy it. That's going to be in two different allotments. So first of next month and the 1st of June, you can get 10,000. You can apply for $10,000 a pot. But we might even not get to the second thing. Like they're talking about 6 months as in like a long term. This may go on for this long. Let's try and see if we can not let it go for this long. But if everyone got their shit together and did shit now, it'll only last a month.
Yeah, no, my daughter was screaming. I was hoping one of you guys are going to talk, but no. Falcon says Georgia has rent protection. Aunt Jack says his dad is giving rent forgiveness for the people that get sick and are quarantined. Well, I don't know about where you're at, Aunt Jack, but the quarantine is all over the state of Oregon, and 40 ounce. What is it, like day 59 for you in zombie apocalypse land?
Isn't Aunt Jack South Korean?
Oh, day 49. No, not quite. So our shelter-in-place order was initiated on the 19th by Newsom. So we're about 5 days into this shit, and me doing my stupid little Corona streams is about the only thing keeping me sane, to be honest. It's, I don't know, just it's literally like, how do I describe this?
Don't take my thunder, Dodge.
You ever see a video that gives you like secondhand embarrassment? Like, it's so awful, it's so dog shit that you feel embarrassed for the person in the video. Okay, it's kind of like that from my perspective. Just so much retarded shit. Like, I have so many clips. I have so many clips and articles about just absolute retardation that's taking place. Not just like in the United States, around the fucking world, man. Like, no one is taking this seriously, and it's leading to it becoming even more serious. It's fucking ridiculous.
How many cases are in the state of California?
Let me check a B&O really quick, because they always have really good numbers about this. California, we're sitting at 2,065 cases and 40 deaths.
40. Does it give the age range of the casualties?
Typically they're older than 50. The problem is that you're starting to get these, and you're getting these more frequently because basically the upward trajectory that the virus has taken in terms of its spread rate, right? In terms of its like contamination. You know, you cough on a door handle and then a toddler comes by and licks it and gives it to his grandma, and grandma's dead, right? That kind of scenario. You're dealing with people that, you know, there was a 39-year-old lady who ended up getting tested. Turns out she had corona, but she didn't get her test results back for, 5 days. And by that 5th day, she died. You know, so you're starting to get... I think so, yeah. So you're starting to get more and more outliers, and that's where the problems really start to come in, because it's like, okay, boomers dying, all right, that's what else is fucking new? Old people dying, breaking news. But then people our age start dying. It's just like, okay, hold on. There's a possibility I could die if I go grocery shopping, and then that's when the panic really starts to set in. Is when millennials start to, for better or worse, start to realize their own mortality and think, shit. It can kill me. Never mind the 20 to 30%, increase in scar tissue in the bronchioles, or the bronchi rather. Sorry.
Okay, well, 40. It sounds like you're taking this extremely seriously, more so than I am. But what do you think about the government's reaction? Do you want everybody locked down in their home? Do you want the economy to come to a grinding halt and stop the largest economy on the face of the earth?
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as the government issuing shelter in place and whatnot, it's quite evident, and I have the articles and I have the footage to back it up. It's quite evident no one gives a shit. Just no one fucking cares. No one cares around the world. You think people in the United States are retarded? Oh, no. The Italians are just fucking retarded. The Chinese are just as fucking retarded, right? The Germans and the French have been just as retarded, and the British have been probably more retarded than anyone. And now it's seeping into India, right? And those people shit in the streets. So let's not... You're welcome, Yorkie. I'm sorry, but everyone's down shit creek at the moment, right? And it's not even like... And you're right, Matt, about the economy, right? It's not just people dying that you have to worry about. It's more so the economic effects, because those are going to last a little longer, than grandma keeling over. It doesn't matter what the government does to shut down the economy. It would have shut down voluntarily anyways. Because people are going to be like, right, I'm not going to go out and get sick. I don't want to give this to my kids, to, my aged mother. What's that old Confederate song, who will care for my aged mother, walking around.
Okay, but I brought this up earlier, 40, and you weren't here. The historical aspect. We've seen plagues like Justinian's plague, the Black Death, typhoid, fucking all sorts, cholera, all sorts of plagues, smallpox, wipe through a community and thin the herd. But we've never seen the entire economy collapse, and then the government want to issue us checks.
Pardon me.
Oh, he's got it.
Sorry. Drink went down the wrong hole. But that's because never before in history have we had an economy that is as globalized as it is now. When was the last great pandemic? The Spanish flu from 1918 to 1919. If I remember.
What about polio? Polio was only cured in the 40s, right?
Yeah, I mean that wasn't that. Polio is not nearly as communicable as Spanish flu or the Wu flu, as it were. So I mean, you're dealing with highly communicable diseases, and you're just seeing the effects of communicable diseases more prevalently due to the fact that I could hop on a plane, and in 12 hours from now, I could be coughing on Farty von Bumstick's doorknob.
Yeah, well, no, but I was at the airport, okay? So it's not necessarily like that, man. I had to fly back from Louisiana just day before yesterday. And I had to move my flight up because I knew the state of Oregon was going to shut everything down. They haven't shut down PDX yet, but they probably will. So I flew in early. The plane was not even half full, like a quarter full. The whole 5 aisles in the back were empty, and everybody was unless you were flying together, one seat, the next seat, whole aisles were just empty. I had a window seat and 2 empty seats next to me. Nice. You know what I mean? And that's not how it was when I flew to Louisiana. The flight was full. It was packed. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the airlines are already doing the social distancing. They're issuing people first class tickets if they're too close together for free. You buy economy, they give you first class. So the thing is, the airlines are doing their job. Why should we shut them down? And why should we shut down the hotels when?
Trust me, we don't need to shut any of these places down. There's no need for government intervention to shut these places down because people are so put off by the Wu flu that they're just going to voluntarily not go. I mean, I'm sure as fucking hell making sure that I go outside a little bit less. My school's been canceled, so I mean, what else do I have to do aside from sit here and play Skyrim for the 100th time? But even then, I'm definitely not going outside. And as soon as this starts to get a little worse, it's gas mask time.
So you're gonna go full plague mask?
Oh, dude, you fucking know it. I'm set, dude. I have a kit. So basically, my kit is a gas mask, an old Bulgarian World War II helmet, and then I basically have a Hawaiian shirt, khaki shorts, and I'm gonna wear flip-flops with sandals.
That's some style.
I was actually going to buy a plague mask, but I'm guessing Amazon's not going to be delivering anytime soon.
No, I actually have I actually ordered something on Amazon, I think 3 or 4 days ago, and I didn't even think about this. I ordered a strap for an old Chinese strap for an SKS, and it was supposed to be here today, and I didn't realize it until I checked on it, and it's just we haven't even shipped it yet. And then I was like, why is this happening? It turns out they're prioritizing medical supplies, and they're just some people aren't getting their shit till April, the end of April. It's oh god. Okay.
Well, that's interesting because my dad's friend down in Louisiana, he works for the Postal Service, and they're running every day still. So is FedEx. So is UPS. And the flights are still going. So there's still international trade through cargo flights. So I don't know, man. This isn't like the Black Death arriving off of Venice on a fucking plague ship. That's not how this happened. The virus was going to get out no matter what. Or do you disagree, 40?
No, the virus was absolutely going to get out. I mean, it doesn't. There's all kinds of ridiculous theories. Some of them I would maybe lend a little more credence than others. It's lab made, or there's stories about a bat apparently pissed in a guy's face, and that's how this whole fucking corona thing came about. Supposedly. Right, there's all kinds of stories about how it got out of Wuhan. People were fleeing too early. The government didn't lock shit down. Scientists are whistleblowing. No one's doing anything. So whatever stories you want to believe, it doesn't matter because it's so communicable, and you can carry it. You could be an asymptomatic carrier for 2 weeks. Anyone here could be sick. Anyone in this stream could be sick, and we wouldn't know it for 2 weeks. Until we, maybe get a little.
I'm sorry, Corona was acting up.
It scared the fuck out of me. But yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's highly communicable, and everyone's being fucking retarded. Those are the two main problems.
Falcon says in the chat, what about Japan? Why haven't they been hit hard? They're right off of China's coast. That's a good question.
They actually were hit hard, but they fucking did the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, South Korea got hit by a fucking, South Korea, people don't understand, they got hit like a fucking freight train. Okay? Especially with those they had crazy cultists trying to weaponize the coronavirus, and they still stopped that shit. So it has to do entirely with they take pride in their cleanliness. In some Asian cultures, bathing every day is a ritualistic to a degree, right? There's even stories of a Japanese superhero, a guy in a costume pretends he's a superhero, and he just goes around Japan and he just cleans trash off the street, right? That's his fucking hobby. So Japan and South Korea, very clean cultures, very immaculate cultures.
Hell, you get removalists to move your house in Japan, right? They'll actually re-put everything in its place, put cupboards in shelves and all this kind of stuff, make it that fucking neat as you didn't even move.
Oh yeah, man. It's very underestimated how I don't want to say socially sophisticated. I think would be good. There's lots of, it's a point of pride almost, right?
Yeah,
but in America,
society.
Yeah, it's just a part of their society. But I mean, in America, everyone here eats as if we have fucking free healthcare. It's fucking pizza and it's pizza and hamburgers and shit, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But people shower once a day and brush their teeth, maybe once or twice a day. It's we just don't have the habits that South Korea and Japan do in terms of personal hygiene. Right, and on a national scale, that's even worse.
Let's be real here, most Americans don't shower once a day or brush their teeth once a day. All right, there's a lot of dirty people out here.
Dude, you're a truck driver. How many times have you just gone, got home and you're too buggered to have a fucking shower, and you got up in the morning and thought, you know what, in 25 minutes I'm going to be as fucking dirty as I am now, so what's the point? I'll have one when I get home.
Yeah.
No. But here's the thing though, if you're on the road, maybe once every 3 days you'll get a shower. That tends to be how it works, because you don't want to end up having to go every day and get a fucking shower. It's a pain in the ass.
What about
so many?
This is something you could speak on, Penoid. What about the truckers? You guys are going to be running through this whole pandemic no matter what. You're the lifeline of the country at this point. What happens when the truckers start catching this shit?
Well, the truckers are a very high-risk population and whatnot. And by the way, I'm getting out of trucking. I'm moving over to a different career path, just because I'm sick of being on the road and being away from the family, and I don't want to be that far away. If American Boogaloo kicks off, I want to be able to be, near the kids, so I can come home and let off some rounds. Actually, they shut down a lot of truck travel as well too. Anything that's not considered essential goods is not allowed to be shipped in the United States. Yeah. So, there's that.
Yeah, and probably I think one of the biggest, and I don't know. This is just my own personal opinion. I'll float it to you guys, and we'll see how often and loudly you yell at me. But I definitely think that coronavirus is going to force the American government and the American people to take a very hard left turn, politically speaking. I think now that this has happened, a lot more people are going to want UBI. We're already doing it in the form of Trump bucks, but, temporarily speaking, but a lot more people are going to want UBI. A lot more people are sure as shit going to want universal health care. A lot more people are going to want, universal housing and everything like that. And it's all in the response to this fucking pandemic.
Well, I actually did touch on this a little earlier, where this will prove one point, and people will take it two ways. Where like they'll say, right, oh fuck, Trump was right. We need to do more manufacturing locally and all this kind of stuff. But there are going to be those people who will take that point and go, yep, Trump did this because he was trying to prove his point that we need to do manufacturing and shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, that actually, this is going to shut down a lot of globalization, which is really cool. I think at the other side of this, we're going to have, we're as a society, we're going to have a nice long debate about what we need to do. I wish that Americans would look at education and go, yo, man, do we really need public education? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I really think that,
well, no, Penoid, the reason I was cutting you off there, a lot of people I know are immediately headed the homeschool route. So I think you're right. I think they are going to reevaluate this because in Oregon, the kids are supposed to go back on the 28th. I doubt that's going to happen. In Louisiana, they shut it down for the rest of the year, flat out. They're just done. No more school year. Everybody's being moved forward, which I think is a mistake. But the thing is, a lot of people are looking at homeschool.
Well, this is something I've been screaming about for years. I don't think we need public education. Like, I don't think we need schools. We don't need the school system, like, at least as it is today. Like, I think we could give every kid a laptop. And I'd be more than willing to pay UBI every year to moms to stay home and homeschool their kids. Like, I think that's a better option and it's actually cheaper than actually paying for it's actually cheaper than paying for education.
I don't like the idea of universal basic income. I don't like the idea of that at all. Dude, I was on temporary assistance for needy families, welfare. Me and my wife, we worked our asses off to get off of it for a reason. It goes against my values. It goes against my principles. I don't want your money. I want to make my money. You know what I mean? And if making my money is doing YouTube and getting donations, then fine. But Rome made a mistake with bread and circuses.
Well, yeah, but we could actually make a legitimate case for sending women back into the home to educate the kids and just pay them to educate the kids. It would literally be cheaper than paying for education.
The only thing that I'd have an issue with there is that there's no standardisation of education, which means that if your mum's a fucking flat earther and an anti-vaxxer, well, then that kid's going to be perpetually a retard their entire life.
I mean, look, I'm a Darwinist. You know what I'm saying? Natural selection will work its way out. The kid that eats too many marbles don't grow up to have kids of his own. You know, I'm kind of behind that ideology. That's always been my mental as far as things are concerned. But I'm saying, as I said, you give the kids a laptop and you end up having a big warehouse in the middle of the country somewhere with a bunch of teachers to, help kids out or have virtual classrooms, like they do now with the cyber schools that they're doing now, and it could save literally $1 trillion a year off of the balance sheet and eliminate local real estate and property taxes, which would eliminate probably one of the most awful taxes that we have in this nation that really destroys the communities to begin with. And it'll allow our local communities to be able to grow and flourish and not rob and jack and throw grandma out into the streets. And it would allow property to be passed down to the next generation, which is what's supposed to happen in the first place. So there's a lot to be said for that.
Okay, 40. What do you think about UBI? Because I think it's bread and circuses. I think it's Rome 3.0.
Yeah, well, when Trump announced it, right? When he was just like, all right, everyone's getting $1,000 redos, everyone's getting 1,000 buckaroos a month. I was just like, here's the thing. That might sound like a good idea, but for some odd reason, I couldn't quite pin it. It did not sit quite right with me. So I kind of asked MC about it, and he was just like, well, it's bad because it genuinely is It's it's an artificial stimulation injected straight into the thigh of the economy, and it's just not going to go anywhere, right? It's going to sit in pools, and it's just not going to do anything normally that any other stimulus package would do, even if the economy is functioning normally. And something that what can I talk right now? Something that MC suggested that I think is a far better alternative is just a moratorium on rent, moratorium on bills, a moratorium on your electric and your water and your garbage, moratorium on rent. And it's going to suck. It's going to suck ass if you're a landlord. It really is. It's going to suck. But you just have to put up with it. Because as much as everyone wants to play the individualist game, and that's fine to do that normally on the average day, but right now we're facing, global health pandemic, and it's not crazy at the moment, right? Shit isn't exactly hitting the fan. We're not about to enter the boogaloo, as it were. But I mean, if things keep going the way they are, we most certainly will. And the only way to do that is to kind of sack up a bit and engage in some collective sacrifice. So it sucks ass, but it's just like, people
Yeah,
are
but
gonna-
40, you're talking to people like me. I'm not gonna join the collective bandwagon. I'm not Borg. I will not be assimilated. I will not join your collective.
No, stop. I'm not saying that you need to fucking get in line like everyone else and wear the same suit and tie. I'm just saying there needs to be. Okay, I'm just saying moratorium on bills. Okay, moratorium on rents, because the more homeless people there are, then that's just more vectors for disease and contamination and communicable disease spreading like AIDS and HIV and most certainly fucking Ebola. What do you think is going to happen in California, for instance, with all the fucking homeless on Skid Row? The homeless camps,
heroin dealers are going to get
all over.
Yeah, can I root for that to happen by chance? Is there any chance I can root for California to end up like massively infected and everyone dying?
Well, don't get me wrong. Listen. I'm not saying it'd be a bad thing. I'm not saying that it wouldn't be a bad thing if we didn't have a homeless problem anymore. And I'm not saying that this is a potential solution. But you can't exactly openly advocate for that, can you? So,
what do you think about this, 40? Because
I can openly advocate.
Yeah, what do you think about this, 40? Because during the global financial crisis, we did do an $800 to everybody arbitrarily stimulus package that I didn't bother replying to because I didn't need it. But instead of just giving everyone $1,000, because your Bill Gates and your fucking Dewberg Goldsteins on the planet don't fucking really need it, especially if they got a mansion in the Hamptons and a fucking holiday house up in fucking Aspen and all this kind of crap. That. The point of the stimulus package during the global financial crisis was to help out people to keep up their mortgage payments and all this kind of stuff, that to prevent the downturn in the stock market and all this kind of shit that was pushing up interest rates and whatnot, pushing more people into debt because everybody else had to fucking cover for the cunts who were defaulting. Instead of just giving everybody that money. And I'll use the analogy of basically my street. Both my two neighbours don't need it. I don't need it. But the old lady across the street, her husband just died and she's just had her family over and fucking increasing her electricity bills and all this kind of stuff. She just had to pay for a funeral and all this kind of crap. And let's just say, for example, that, she's still paying a mortgage. Now, she's now more financially in debt than what fucking the rest of us are. So why give me $1,000 at the moment? Why can't she go off, do a means test and say, right, well, actually $1,500 or $2,000 will be better off for her, and where they don't have to pay us is where they can make the shortfall in paying other people more. I mean, some people might only need a couple of $100 just to get them past this. Some people might need $5,000 or $6,000. I mean, like my idiot brother, for example, he's down in Sydney paying fucking through the nose for his rent. He gets paid $200 more than what his fucking rent is. And me and my mum, where I was just sort of like, right, well, if this happens and he has to fucking take time off work and shit like that because he's going from paycheck to paycheck, it's actually more easier for us to keep him where he is than it is for us to go and fork out to get his stuff out of there and put it into storage at my place, and then we've got to find him a place to live because he can't really live up here with me mum because he's a bit of a fuckwit. It's a nice quiet place. So it literally is better to try and keep him there for 3 months. Hopefully this will blow over in 3 months and try and subsidise him that way. What do you reckon we'll be able to put in a means test to make sure that like the people who do get this money are actually the people that need it and they're getting it effectively?
Well, here's the thing though. Like Aunt Jack said, it's cheaper to just give everybody $1,000 than to figure out who needs it and who don't. Because government never does anything efficiently ever.
Yeah,
Well, that's the thing.
That's the problem. Is that is wildly fucking inefficient.
That's a bit of.
But you've already got the
Well, hang on,
welfare
wait.
fucking
Well, it's not
places
just
already.
more efficient. I know, but it's faster too. That's the other half of that, right? It's not so much that it's just more efficient and quicker or cheaper. It's the fact that it's faster, right? Because look, all of this is only needed because of what the government is doing, right? The government is literally causing this. The only reason any of us need, like a moratorium on bills or we need money or whatever it is, the reason the economy collapsing is because the government caused it. It has literally nothing to do with the virus at all. The government's response to the virus is what destroyed this. If we would let the virus run,
that has been my damn argument the whole night, and everybody's been laughing at me and yelling at me and calling me Alex Jones. No, I'm not afraid of the virus. I'm afraid of the government response to it.
You know why we're doing that?
The government.
You know why we were doing that?
Go ahead, York.
The reason we were doing that, Dodge, was because whenever we tried to explain it to you, you just scream over at us and tell us to shut up and all that stuff, and just kept screaming on and acting. You were actually acting like Alex Jones. That's why we kept calling you Alex Jones.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks. It came down here yesterday, and they told me that this coronavirus right here, it's going to end up having the frogs turn the water down. They're going to turn their apartment building upside down. They're going to fill them up with water, and then we're going to put everybody inside and put them in with the gay frogs, throw in a couple blocks of uranium. We're going to create a whole bunch of gay mermaid fish human being hybrids. All right, it's Agenda 26 and Agenda 27, folks. If you spell Illuminati if you spell Alex Jones backwards, it comes out Illuminati. That's what the situation is.
And don't forget to buy my iodine water to stop the gay frogs from making it gay mermaids.
Firstly, that was fucking terrifyingly good, Pianoid. So fucking nice impression.
I've been practicing. I've been practicing a lot. You know what I mean? Thank you.
But you're saying, right? Why not just give everyone $1,000? Just give everyone $1,000. It doesn't matter about if you need it or you don't. And then you go on to say government can never do anything efficiently, right? So why even involve government in the first place? Like, why even do that?
Because
just put a moratorium on everything.
Well,
just put a moratorium on everything.
Because if you're not earning money, you can't buy food, and you can't buy medicine, and you can't buy diapers, and you can't buy like toilet paper and like paper products. Like even if you have welfare, you still can't buy diapers, toilet paper, cleaning supplies. Anything of this nature, right? Because the food for the TANF, the assistant for needy families, does not allow you to buy paper products. Right. And then you have to go through being means tested with that. And that means you have to have government workers in the government building approving individuals for welfare. Right. It's literally faster and cheaper to stand here and just give out the $1,000. Why? You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the situation. So, but the reason why you have to involve government is because government's screwing everything up at this point. Government's actually destroying the economy. And I'm not real sure why. Like, I don't understand. Like why they're doing this. This doesn't make any sense to me. Like,
I can tell you.
We'd be better off if we just let the virus run through. Just let it run and clean out all the bullshit. Clean out all these individuals, right? These old people. Because on the other side, you'd stand here and you'd have a whole bunch of people like actually sitting here like passing down the fortunes of what they had. You know what I mean? Like the vast majority of people who are millionaires in this country are over the age of 65 in their 401ks. And if all that money got passed down to the next generation, you'd have wealth for the working class. You'd have homes that are cheaper rates for the working class. You'd have cheaper automobiles for the working class, cheaper, everything for the working class. We would end up so much better on the other side if we just like fucking let it run through.
I can tell you why the stimulus package is an actual thing and all this. It's a massive con because it was the Labor Party that did the one during the GFC, and we're about to do another one now with this. And it literally is a massive con. Because they said that, like, oh, this is for people to put on their mortgages and all this to curb the interest rates and all this. But they knew for a fact that Australians, being Australians, we'd piss it against the wall, we'd fucking smoke it, and or put it through our cars, which are the three highest taxed fucking things in this country. And then a few months later, fucking Kevin Rudd went, oh, look, we got 45% of it back. Oh, see, this is how well it worked. And it's like, yeah, but what about the other 55% that they never bothered to answer? It's a con.
Well, I mean, that's half of it. Like, my question is, why are we stopping the virus? Why are we going through this massive thing to stop this virus?
Well, I'd like my mum to be around for a few more years.
No, see, that's short-term thinking. What you need to be doing is go around and you'd be coughing in people's faces, especially anyone with weird eyes that might be from China. Priority.
Yeah, like, here's the thing, like, this is indiscriminate. It wipes out people over the age of 65 and anybody, with like respiratory or cardiovascular disorders, people with a compromised immune system. So mostly like cancer patients, AIDS victims who are under the age of 55, but everybody else is going to be older. This is amazing for your economy and having the ability to have everybody move forward. Understand why we're doing it. This is great for like the young people of this nation if like the old people got wiped the fuck out.
Well, I'd like to see me aunt actually make it past her 42nd birthday.
42nd.
Okay, here's the thing though. Once again, the amount of deaths from this virus in the United States is well below even deaths from drunk driving in 2020, I would bet.
It's not just the deaths. It's not. Everyone keeps saying the deaths. The deaths. Think of the deaths. It's not just the deaths, right? It's the fact that you will lose 20 to 30% of lung function. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I live on the second story of a house, and I would like to be able to walk up my stairs without keeling over and passing out. Okay, it's not just dying. There are all kinds of side effects that come along with this shit.
There's literally no real evidence of any of this long term.
Except for all because we haven't had it long term studies that have fucking been published about all the people that have come out the other side like, and they lose lung function.
Yeah, pneumonia is the same thing, and eventually you recover.
Yeah, except for all the scar tissue that builds up in your lungs.
Again, you will end up recovering. Your body will recover from that.
Yeah, except for all the scar tissue that develops in your lungs.
Scar tissue doesn't recover. That's why you have scars.
No. Like, look. I know dudes. I legitimately know dudes who got stabbed and lost lungs, and they only have one lung now. All right, and they're walking around like it's a normal thing.
And the funny thing,
they run
the
Boston Marathon, but
I was about to say the funny thing's going to be when I cough in their face and then they die 2 weeks later from corona.
Hey, keep your California ass down there.
I'll fucking do it. I'm high risk. I'm high risk. I'm a previous smoker. If I catch corona, I'm probably going to be on a ventilator. Don't underestimate my willingness to cough on door handles.
Oh yeah, that's
okay. So you guys were calling me Typhoid Mary. There's Typhoid Mary right there.
Yeah, that reminds me of what I was going to say earlier. If I happen to catch it, might be a bit trickier now that everyone's supposed to be on lockdown. But the plan was going to be to go around some nearby mosques and cough.
I was going to go around my entire town and fucking try and give it to as many cunts as I can. As I have been maintaining when I go, I'm trying to take a few people with me. And every cunt in my town's pissed me off, so fuck them.
Yeah, I'm not joking. Like, yo, this will be so good for our country and society as a whole. Like, I don't understand why we're fighting this so much. Like, this is such a feminine way of doing things, destroying our whole society and indebting our future generations to payments and slaves, to be slaves for this debt. And what happens next time that this happens? Are we going to do this again? Are we just going to keep destroying ourselves every time something threatens, you know what I'm saying, like a small portion of our society?
Well, gun rampages are more quicker and effective. Why are you fighting against those then?
What? No, I literally don't understand what you said. You said gunnery, what?
gun rampages are more quicker and effective. So why are you fighting against those?
We don't fight against those.
Well, every time they have one, you're just like, oh, guns are bad, guns are bad.
Yeah, but they're just whining. Nobody cares about that shit. We're not going to trade away our fucking Second Amendment rights because some fucking shithead decided to go murk off a few people.
Well, guess my point is, like, you know, if you want this virus to work its magic, you know, well, it's not going to get, you know, half the population that is still going to be around to ruin the place later on. Why don't you pick up a gun and fucking just start shooting the guns?
Actually,
what did George Carlin say? He said evolution is slow, smallpox is fast, man.
Bullets are quicker.
That's funny. You guys, there's some great fucking stories coming out of California about people trying to buy guns and then realizing, oh wait, I voted for dumbass gun laws. It's pretty fucking funny, man. There's a couple stores in LA that have essentially sold out of guns and ammunition, but they're finding out, oh wait, there's this like 10-day fucking wait period on just about everything. And so by the time they get their fucking guns, they're going to be dead.
Oh, dude, then you should just walk by and gather them up.
No, that's pretty much what I'm going to do. Oh, you're about to die? I'm just going to yoink. I'm just going to take that. You don't
That's a nice gun. Can I take a look at it? Yeah, sure. And they kill over. Thank you.
Pretty much. Oh, yes.
Well, no, and here's the thing. I refuse to give up my rights because you have the sniffles. I really do. I'm not going to. It's not gonna happen. And call me naive. Go ahead. Call me Alex Jones. Go for it. More power to you. I refuse to have the chains of tyranny upon my fucking throat. Fuck you.
It's not the fucking chains.
I'm gonna tell you what. There's only one Alex Jones. All right. I'm the only Alex Jones around here when it really comes down to it. You need to stop. I got a documentation right here. All right, folks. I got everything you need to know right here. I'm the only Alex Jones on the stream. All right. You need to stop trying to throw dirt on top of my name. All right, because there's no way that I would ever have a top hat in any of my pictures. All right.
All right. Penoid's Alex Jones. Mad Dodge is Mary Jones. Penoid. Alex Jones's wife.
Now, if you excuse me, I need another beer and I need my keys to the car. All right, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here.
Oh, fuck. God, that was so fucking funny, man. When I found that out, I about fucking died.
Yo, look, man, like, yo, he's in his 50s. He's a white male and he lives in Texas. Him getting a DUI is like, and
yeah, that's like par for the course. That's like a par 3.
Yeah. No, I just love the fact that he's pretended like nothing's happened. Like, it's just business as usual, just a DUI. That's all. I'm not going to acknowledge it or anything.
It is, because it is like legit. My pops has like 7 DUIs. Like, that's just normal. It's par for the course as like like, you don't understand. This is America, all right? You don't really live among regular Americans. If you're in a blue collar America, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, go into any bar, you'll see 10 or 15 guys with a fucking ankle monitor on. Like, there's blow and goes everywhere. This is a massive business in regular America. Did you know Virginia, actually 1/3 of the state of Virginia doesn't have driver's licenses, but they're all just driving around the fucking state.
Wait, I'm sorry. What? Wait, what?
Yeah, 1/3 of all Virginians who are on the road don't have any driver's licenses.
What the fuck? It's because they all have DUIs?
Well, yeah, DUIs, speed tickets, whatever, because they just snatch your license like the moment you don't make your proper payment, they'll just take it. And everybody just goes, well, we still gotta get to work. And they fucking just keep driving.
Wow. That's fucking funny.
Yeah. Welcome to America, buddy.
Well, no, I don't know if it's true, but my buddy Dave just said it's 2/3 in Oregon. I don't know if he pulled that number out of his ass or what.
I did pull it out of my ass, but a majority of the drivers in the state of Oregon are driving illegally, whether that be a suspended license, no license,
no insurance.
No insurance. Oh, no insurance, man. Yeah. The only reason people get insurance in the state of Oregon is because now they can run your plate and see if you have it.
Which one of you doesn't have insurance?
Hey, we have insurance on our car, so it would be.
Yeah, you don't drive. Wink, wink. I got you.
He begrudgingly got insurance because they'd have to be paying the man.
Yeah, yo, look, I got caught one time in a car, man. I had no registration, no inspection, no insurance, a flat tire. 2 of the doors were tied on with duct tape, right? Yo, one headlight. This is how you roll in the white trash no state.
Oh, you got a Mogadishu special then.
Yo, nobody cares about fucking traffic laws. Nobody gives a fuck.
Oh,
Like,
dude.
I've got pulled over.
No, check it out, Pinoy. There's this one time. I was in the car with my friend, and she's driving her car up over this overpass right by like the Eugene Mission. And she grinded up the clutch and actually caught fire, right? And this other car goes honking at us and comes up next to us and goes, "Your car's on fire." We're like, "Oh, don't worry about it. It happens all the time." Like, the whole fucking... Yeah, dude. We ended up pulling over it, obviously. And the whole fucking underneath was fucking burnt up. The car was garbage.
Yeah. Like, dude, it is nothing to like drive. Like, I've seen dudes drive up from Baltimore to like where I live at, which is probably like an hour and a half trip, right? In a car that had flashlights wired directly to the battery for headlights.
Oh, dude, a little toggle switch? I've totally seen that. Yeah.
That's mechanics.
No, here's the bitch. It wasn't even matching flashlights, right? Like, they were like 2 different flashlights. One they found at Family Dollar, and the other one they stole out of their kids' chests' drawers.
Dude, I never even heard of the Family Dollar until I went to Louisiana. So now I know what you're talking about. I went there like a bunch of times.
The Family Dollar is like your local 5 and dime for you know what I mean? How are you guys dealing with this lockdown? Man, look, I'm chilling, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking, I'm good, man. Look, we got bodegas and shit out here.
Oh, that was for the Brit bombs. That was for Yorkie. And I sneeze on you. That's funny.
Yo, look, man, they're barely people. All right, don't be over here addressing them and shit.
I know. They're barely people, but they are still kind of people. Okay.
Yeah, hey, Irishman. What's going on in Ireland? How bad are you guys hit?
You know,
Corona
you
tan everywhere?
descend from these barely people.
Yeah, everybody who's not an American is barely a person.
Yeah, but you descended from these barely people, so you know.
I know we're the higher of all.
You descended from us. So
you're Italian. You're lucky we consider you human.
A European colony before Australia was. So.
We got the highest IQ. We had the highest IQ of all white people, so you can get the fuck out of here.
Your people
Except
ran
for
out
your flat earthers and anti-vaxxers.
No, hold on. Your people ran out of pasta and you shit the bed. What does that say about Italians? You ran out of penne and you all fucking crap the bed.
Hang on, who's the Italian?
Well, and Dave says that's like being the smartest kid with Down syndrome.
Oh fuck!
Hang on, who's the Italian in chat? Or in this conversation?
No, I was addressing the Irish. All right, how's it going on over there? Are you on lockdown? What's going on?
It's going on. I tell you, I don't see there. Like where I live, out in the country, there is no panic buying. The local shops still full to the brim with everything. You know, apart from the schools being closed, you know, and this all stuff that's coming in. You know, no one near me's panicking, but a whole lot of other people are.
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, how quickly is Belfast gonna have a boogaloo?
It's Belfast. Who the fuck cares?
Actually, on a scale from white to black, what colour's the ones that are panicking the most?
on a scale of 1 to Mel Gibson getting pulled over by the cops, how drunk is Ireland right now?
That's my question.
That's a trick question. There are no limitations. They know no bounds.
Yeah, like they can't get the coronavirus. They're all completely pickled. Like, yo, there's
Pickled?
no way you're gonna get the coronavirus.
Oh,
I think there's like, I don't know, 300 and some people confirmed and about, I don't know, about 20 dead, but that's about it.
oof.
Well, did they die of the coronavirus or because like they were drunk and jumped off of something? Like,
Did they die of
was it
coronavirus or did
a-
they die of because they were on corona?
Oh, that
They
shit.
died because they had to listen to silly Americans make jokes.
And honestly, let's be honest. I mean, there's so many pictures of like, oh, no one's buying Corona beer because of the virus. It's like, no one's buying it because the alcohol percentage is fucking dog shit. It's barely alcohol. Come on.
No one's buying it because it's trash and it tastes like kerosene.
I know.
Get the fuck out of here. That shit is fucking disgusting.
Yeah. The shelf
I have
has been
to say,
empty
like
forever.
you were saying about us being barely human. Yeah, what's happening in Florida on spring break? Oh, well, that's right. All the smart people are out giving the corona to each other. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
What do you mean smart people? Wait. You consider them smart? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
you said they're
No, you said
So they're
that
not the smart of us.
Americans were better than everyone else, not me.
Yeah, you said they're evolved.
No. I said we're the only human beings because we're capitalists and we don't believe in socialism. But like apparently now, like Donald Trump wants to like nationalize businesses and give out free money and go full fucking communist. Like this nigga's turning into Fidel Castro day by day. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Yo.
Also, I'm just gonna plug myself really quick. I got some dope ass footage of people getting shot with fucking paintball guns on a Florida beach by cops. I'll be streaming right after this if you want some. If you want to laugh at some shit.
Paintball guns?
Yeah, like or not like paintball guns, like the rubber bullet guns. The ones that fucking hurt hella bad.
Well, do you guys think one, that they will actually suspend habeas corpus, and two, that's the rollout of martial law, pretty much, right?
Well, yeah. If I don't know, let me just put it like this: if someone's gonna say, "Hey, hand over your guns," I mean, I'll do it, but it's gonna be bullet by bullet. So they can do whatever they want. Just don't touch my fucking beans, bitch.
This is America.
Well, do you lack the courage of your convictions? Well, no. This is a serious question. Do you lack the courage of your convictions? Are you just saying that, or are you actually going to go full Bundy Ranch and lock and load, stare them down?
I'll have you know that one time I took a shit in public toilets, so I think I could do anything.
Yeah, I'll have you know I am the only one in this stream here who has been to jail for assaulting a police officer. All right,
I'm about to go.
Like,
so,
yo, dude,
brothers, right? The hood and so forth.
Yo, get it done.
Yeah.
Ain't no fear in my heart, dude.
Yeah,
I got a bullet hole in my back. Like, you can get this done. Fuck.
Yeah, that's something to be proud of. Yeah, I attacked cops. That just makes me every other fucking criminal scumbag.
Yo, fucking cops shouldn't be testing me the fuck out. Here's what it is.
Yeah, well, when the cops eventually shoot you the next time you do it, I'll just go, well, it was on him. He wanted to attack you. Don't feel bad for him.
Thank you. That's where it's at. All right. I take the risk that I take. The cops take the risk that they take. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, they know better than to come at me with one of them. They come with like 12 or 13. I was sitting one time in my kitchen. I'm sitting there in handcuffs and shit, right? And I heard the cop look at the other cop, and he goes, "This guy don't look so tough." I was like, "Yo, you gonna find out, motherfucker. You gonna find out." Like, yo.
Well, I mean,
Stop that.
Yeah, stop breaking the law, asshole. No. I think on that note, we're over 3 hours. I think we should wrap it up. 40 ounce. You're gonna be doing the stream?
Well, I was actually hoping that you would go for like literally just 20 more minutes. It's
4 minutes. No, I can do 20 more minutes. Okay.
Baseball.
No, actually, no. differences between Louisiana and Oregon. One, they still have plastic bags down there. You know how nice that is? To actually go to the store and get a plastic bag.
Yeah, how is that? How is it being free from communist rule for just a few days?
It was good. I had to end it short because of the freak out, so I called United and upped my ticket 2 days, you know?
Yeah.
But I was down there almost 2 weeks. Just long enough to get used to the weather and the time change and shit, you know? So now I'm freezing and I'm waking up super fucking early.
Oh Christ, that's bad. That fucking sucks, man.
Yo, how was it? How was it seeing your family and shit, man? Did you see any alligators?
I didn't see any gators. I did see a moccasin. My nephew was walking over. Like, my family has a private fucking lake, which is awesome. So we were down there fishing, and my nephew went over and was going to the edge of the lake, and he jumped back real quick because there was a moccasin, and it just fucking shot off into the lake. So I did see, a snake, but I didn't get to see no gators. I was up in Shreveport area, Coshada, over by Bossier.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, get some caddies.
Yeah, I got a few nibbles. It sucks because part of the lake is cut off by another part of the family, and it's kind of a family feud going on. They moved the property line, a bunch of bullshit, so they're feeding the fish and trying to get them on their side of the lake, which they only have like a quarter of the lake. And the bullshit is, you feed these stupid fish, they're not going to bite for anybody. You're feeding them, you dumbass.
Damn.
Yo, it's the Hatfields and Mad Dodgers.
Yeah, the Mads and the Dins. Yeah. It's interesting, dude. It was different being down there, but I had a good time, man. I went to this little country bar, played some pool and shit. Almost got in a fight. It was good. It was a good time.
Did you get some food? You get some ribs and shit. Some hush puppies.
Oh, I got some gumbo, dude, and it was some good ass gumbo. Like, I've had jambalaya a bunch, but I never had gumbo, so I had to go to a gumbo joint, and yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
That's good shit.
Nice chat with you guys.
Later, Yorkie.
Take it easy, Yorkie.
All right, see you, man.
But no, other than that, hung out around the place. I went and saw the Confederate monuments and stuff.
How was that?
Yeah, I found a couple Confederate graveyards, dude. I got a bunch of pictures for you that I'll show you.
Oh, actually, what's funny? The reason I asked you to stay out, I had something to tell you, and I had so much trouble remembering. So apparently my grandma is doing ancestry shit, and she apparently found out that we have Confederate blood in our shit. So there's that. Apparently I have a bunch of Confederates in my family. So
welcome.
Yeah. Does this mean I get to lynch black people now?
Well, hey, the rope tying course is next Tuesday, so hope to see you there.
Okay. I was just curious. I was curious how it worked. Because I know there's certain privileges I get, I get the hood and everything. I don't know if that's like a member's rate or, I don't know.
Right, well, we'll talk about dues.
Yo, it's like a members only jacket, you know what I'm saying, with patches and shit. You know what I mean? You'll be fucking, you'll get all the information, plus, information on the insurance and, your paperwork for your W-2s and shit. You got to fill out your 1099, all that nonsense that goes with it,
Oh, 1099. Fuck. Okay, well, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you'll be subcontracted out to other local areas.
Subcontracted. Okay. Oh, fuck. All right. Fuck
God damn. Wow, that joke. That was a good one.
That was fucking funny, yeah. Oh, shit.
I think we lost one viewer over that joke, but I don't care because that was a good joke.
Yeah, that was
No, you lost them due to the... Remember.
Oh shit! But no, I found out my dad was in Vietnam, so he's gonna have. That was one sucky thing. I was there to help plan the funeral for him. That's fun. A nice way to spend your vacation, planning your dad's funeral.
Is that
but
why you went down there, or was that...
no, I went down there to. I was 6 months old, I guess, when I left Louisiana, and he hadn't seen me since then. I went down there to meet my family, to actually meet them, because I didn't really know them.
Oh,
and I'm glad I did, actually. It was a great experience. My little brother is fucking awesome. My sister is awesome. She works at the hospital, so she's on the front line of this, virus shit. It was a good experience. It really was.
Yeah.
He's like, I got 3 or 4 marriage proposals from my cousins while I was down there,
You had to ruin something nice.
Hey, it was Louisiana, not Arkansas. It was Louisiana, not Arkansas. There's a difference.
Yo, look, seriously, there's not much of a difference between the two places. Let's be perfectly honest here, all right? Like, don't lie. You can lie to me, you can lie to God. You know what I'm saying? You can lie to God, you can lie to yourself. Just don't lie to me, nigga. All right? Like, when it really comes down to it.
Hey, don't you Italians like all kiss each other, even guys? Fucking faggot.
Yo, look, man. Yo, it's a sign. It's a sign of respect, motherfucker. All right.
You're wondering why everyone over there is in fucking lockdown and shit. Can't stop kissing each other. Fucking gay boys.
Yeah. Yo, look, the Pope went over and started kissing coronavirus victims, and then he got the corona, and we ain't heard from him since, which I think's a positive thing.
Yeah, dude, I don't like. Hey, coming from a Catholic, not a fan of the Pope. All right.
I was about to bring that up. How'd you guys feel when he disappeared for those couple days with the sniffles? I bet you guys shit yourselves. God damn.
No, I was fucking, you know what I mean? I was like, come on, God, take your messenger right now. All right. You need to be.
Yeah, I want to see that smoke. Give me all the smoke. Come on.
It's like Italians are so stupid they don't just lick windows, man. They've progressed to walls as well.
God damn it. Oh God.
Yo, look, man. You have apparently never been to America. All right. Like, legitimately.
I actually have.
Yo, we got some tarred whack, a lot of sacks over here. Like, dude, you have no clue how terrible and awful and retarded Americans are.
I actually have been there.
Oh, so
I was last there as an instructor.
Oh God. Well, I apologize. You've probably been mugged multiple times then.
No.
Oh, God forbid. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Another difference between Oregon and Louisiana. Okay, so you can go through a drive-through and get an alcoholic beverage, right? A daiquiri, which actually was fairly strong because I walked in and they're like, "What size?" This is like $6. This is 8. This is 10. It's the largest. I'm like, well, fuck it, 10. It was pretty strong. All they do is they tape the lid and they hand you a straw separate. So, like, you can even just move the tape a little bit and put the straw in and drink, and then pull the straw out if you see a cop, right? Like, you have drive-through fucking liquor there.
That's pretty cool.
That's crazy to me.
And here I thought you were just going to talk about fried chicken or some shit all day. That's pretty cool. Drive-through liquor. That's pretty fucking dope. Not gonna lie.
We've got it, Eddie.
No, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Fuck, there's even one in my town. You drive in and do like, what do you want? Oh, I can't be. And you'll go to the fridge, grab it, and stuck chicken in the back, chuck it in the back of your car.
Damn.
Yo, this is Australia, all right? The only time they innovate is when they tell them they can't have more alcohol.
All right, like what was it? The bath race that they have, right? They had this race called it's the Abarth, right? And they decided that they're gonna limit people tailgating. Yeah, they're gonna limit people tailgating to 1 case of beer, right? So what they did was everybody showed up like 2 days beforehand and just started burying cases of beer outside of the fucking raceway, right? And so that they had more.
That's fucking genius. Holy shit, that's funny.
Yeah.
From a country that lost the war to fucking birds, these motherfuckers will go ham and become fucking Einstein if you tell them they can't have any more alcohol.
Yeah, well, the Indians don't drink, you see, so we don't care.
Well,
exactly.
Okay, well, here's another difference. I live up in the Cascades, right? So I'm at like 4,500 feet. So when I flew over, my ears popped a little bit, but they popped because Louisiana is at sea level, the whole state, right? So my ears popped for 4 days straight. When I got back home, my ears popped in the plane once, and they haven't popped again. I'm good. You know, I'm back at the altitude I'm used to. That's another difference. Also, the trees. Man, the trees there are so thin, I feel like I can just walk over and shove it, push it over. Here, we have the big oak, fucking giant fucking trees, right? So that's another difference.
Yeah, can't plant cotton.
Ain't that weird?
Well, no, they have those skinny ass pines down there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, like ain't that weird? Like legit, that is the one thing you really notice when you go from one place to another is the amount of like a different type of foliage that you see just like driving around or looking around. Like it is weird how it changes from one place to another. Like up north, like we have pine trees, but like they're nowhere near like what you look at down south. Right. And then you'll have like oak and maple and apple and whatever right up here, like just driving around regularly, you'll just see like regular trees, same as you'll see probably in Oregon, probably not as big because we logged all our shit out once or twice already. So like it's all kind of like newer growth. But down in like you go down south, it's all just these skinny ass pine trees and there's sand everywhere on the fucking ground and shit. It's some weird stuff, legit.
Yeah, right? Like, that was a big difference, man. And the smell. And it's not just the southern air or whatever. It was the smell of the swamp, the backwoods, right? It's it's a different smell.
Yeah. Dude, like legit, like I grew up in the mountains. I got you. It's a whole different thing to go down south. Oh. Shit, man.
I was just thinking about I know what you mean, because out in the western suburbs of Sydney, because there's like a sewage treatment plant out there, normally during the week you can't smell anything, but on a Sunday morning when everyone's taking a grog bog, you can smell the difference.
Well, no, it's not that though. Like, I live in the middle of nowhere, and my dad lives in outside Coshada in the middle of nowhere. So, like, it was, going from one rural area to another, but the trees are different, the environment's different, it was a little more laid back down there, I think. You know what I mean? It really seemed a little slower paced.
Yeah. It's actually, like, believe it or not, like, it's actually, like, quantifiable, like, business-wise, like, because we had, when I was running Samsung's their operations for their quality control, right? They had different warehouses like all over the country to service. Like they had like 5 different warehouses, and like it was actually quantifiable. Like there was like a 30% drop down south when it came to productivity, just because they're slower. I mean, they don't move as fast at all. Like they just, when they're driving their forklifts around, like in up north, they had to limit the speed on the forklifts because like guys will just go hard. But down south, they'll sit there and they'll just drive like old ladies, just like dum 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 dum, and they have nowhere they gotta fucking be ever. It's some weird shit.
Well, yeah, no, and you can see a difference the same way between California and Oregon. Like 40 down in Cali, you guys go at lightning speed, don't you? Usually.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking shit. Everyone is incredibly aggressive too. Like you will have motherfuckers that get into your lane, and break like at a moment's notice just to get in another lane. It's there's some crazy shit. Just basically don't ever drive in California. Just walk everywhere. Do you have to get to
Well,
the other side of the California? Just walk. You're better. You'd be faster.
Well,
It's like New
that's
York or
one
Jersey.
thing I really didn't get, like, because it's similar in Australia and Sydney and all this kind of stuff. But I get to London, right? And speaking of different airs and all this kind of stuff, fucking some massively fucking ridiculous fresh air is in London, man. Like, you can smell cunts cooking like from fucking blocks away, and like it even made Indian food smell like it should be eaten. But like, you jump into a taxi and the taxi's going through London traffic, which is normally standstill. He puts his indicator on, and someone lets him in. And he did this about 4 or 5 times. Like, how the fuck is this happening, man? Like, back where I come from, you put your indicator on, the cunt speeds up to block you in. It's like, no, we're just polite out here.
Goddamn.
Yeah. It's like New Jersey or New York. You drive around in there, it's 90 miles an hour everywhere you go. Everyone's switching lanes, constantly trying to jump in front of people. Like they'll drive on the fucking median to get around you and shit. They don't give a fuck. They'll drive on the grass. They'll jump over curbs and shit trying to get around people. Like they don't give any fucks whatsoever.
At least it makes good dash cam videos, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, if we're judging by dash cams, the only country I'd be truly terrified to drive in would be fucking Russia. Oh God.
Yeah. You need to have a liter of vodka before you're actually legally allowed to drive.
No, I feel like you'd have
Yo.
to like have multiple like you'd have to have like multiple passengers like sitting in the back and sitting shotgun with like some fucking AK-47s, right? You need to ward off some of the other aggressive drivers.
Well, that's the
You got to
reason
worry
why
about
there's so
aggressive
many.
pedestrians.
Yeah, that's the reason why there's so many dash cam videos coming out from some Southeast Asian countries and Russia. It's actually a part of their insurance policy that like you must have a dash cam in your car because there so many fucking drunk drivers and accidents. But in the Asian countries, it's lots of insurance scammers that will run out into the street and jump on your bonnet and then claim that you fucking hit them and all this kind of stuff. And they're even the funnier ones because there's one guy, like one I've seen where like this guy is actually zigzagging to try and miss this cunt, and he's like literally like crawling down the street in his car because like this bloke kept on fucking running in front of him, and then the bloke in the car finally stops, and then you see the little Asian dude run up and then jump on the bonnet and then grab himself and he slides off the fucking bonnet, and the driver gets out and he's just like, come on, get up, look, I've got a dash cam, and you see him pointing to the dashboard, and you see this little head pop up over the front of the bonnet. He's like, then two hands like, oh no, it's okay. He gets up and walks off. It's fucking dirty gook bastard.
In Russia and shit, they have people who actually go around, and if you like the people, like they'll drive on sidewalks and get around motherfuckers and shit, and they have like roaming bands of pedestrians with giant stickers, and they'll grab these fucking stickers and throw them on people's fucking windshields to block the fucking driver's view. Right in the middle of they'll stop the fucking car like walking in front of it and like climb up on the hood and then fucking throw the goddamn sticker on top of it, right, and then give the guy the fucking bird and walk the fuck off.
I also like the
Right.
Russian police's response too, like because they'll see like the most retarded, wackiest shit possible, right? Some cunts like just fucking mowed through a crowd of kids or something, and then you'll see like the police checkpoint, and then the cop will just like casually walk out onto the road and just lazily over here, come on, like nothing's fucking happened.
All right, yo, Mad Dodge, I'm gonna go work on a video for my channel because I haven't done anything all weekend because I've had my babies and shit. So, my brother, like, yo, it's nice having you on 40. You know what I'm saying? Farty Deuce, nice motherfucker talking to y'all. I'm gonna bounce out of here. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace.
Alrighty, see ya.
Take it easy, man.
About 3 minutes left, anyways.
All right. Is this where we all go our separate ways awkwardly?
Oh no, 2 minutes time. 3 minutes now. You wanted the 20 minutes, so.
Well, I mean, we're past the 20 minutes. I mean, I just wanted to, tell Mad Dodge that I'm a Confederate general now, and that I am welcome within his ranks. I don't know what to do. Someone say something.
Become Become a Kentucky
Okay,
Colonel. That a chicken
no.
bacon factory.
Here's the thing. The virus is bad. The government response, in my opinion, is worse. In 40s, it's not enough. 40, where do you stand on that? Because we're about to wrap it up.
In my opinion, government should have shut down this travel. Just shut down travel, and then at the state and local level, just let people handle it. You know, we'll requisition what resources we can for you, distribute it as evenly as we can amongst the harder hit areas. But I mean, as far as that, I personally, the stimulus, not a fan of. I guess it's better than nothing, but I would rather there just be a moratorium on all goods and shit like that, services rendered, right? Your water bill, rent.
Well, the thing is, though, 40. When would you have ended travel? Because I flew home the day before yesterday. That's how close it was. I heard the governor of Oregon, and I'm like, no, I better get home. But I was supposed to get home today. Like, when would you have shut that down? Because you would have stranded me in a state and with no money, and just I'm there.
Well, I wouldn't have shut down domestic travel. I was thinking. Sorry, I should have clarified. I was thinking more along the lines of
International.
I was thinking more along the lines of like what international flights would be high risk. Because I mean, initially during the outbreak, you know, places like the UK, Australia wasn't, you know, a risk factor at all. The Philippines were fine. India was fine. Japan was kind of sketchy, and so was South Korea. But just ending flights internationally, just ending flights from China and ending flights from Japan, South Korea, from Italy. What was the other breakout epicenter in Europe? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, Iran as well. There was another breakout epicenter. It was Milan and was it Venice? I think Venice was the other epicenter. So just end flights from all those places. And if anyone is allowing flights from those places, like Canada, for instance, still, as far as I know, they actually still had international flights going between Canada and China up until a week ago, right? Sometime last week, they ended up canceling it finally. You know, I think it was the 20th or 21st. So, but, you know, if those people are going to allow infected people to travel to their country, then fucking shut it all down. I mean, if I'm in charge, hypothetically, my own countrymen come first. I don't give a rat's ass about anyone else. That's their own problem. You know.
Well,
Sorry,
no, we did shut down international flights, though. That did happen.
Not soon enough, I think.
It was too late.
Fair enough. 40 ounce. Go ahead, tell them what you're going to do over on your channel so they can just switch over.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna do my infamous Corona cast. It's not infamous because no one watches it, but it's covering a little bit in terms of the news as far as infection is concerned. You know, there is a little bit to report in terms of that, but it is a good portion of it is just laughing at fucking retards. You know, so I'll give you some survival advice towards the end of the stream about a certain National Guard, about maybe how you should handle certain alphabet men that come knocking for your guns. I don't know. That's just about it. Come laugh at retards. I'll have a little bit of news for you. That's it.
Do you need any help? I'm down to join you.
Oh, I have it all on OBS. I can only do it by my onesie. I'll see if I can do. Let me think. I'll see if I can set something up in Discord. That way I can have 2 or 3 people on at a time. Because when I do these, I have actually quite a bit of footage to show people. So like when I said I had footage of like people in Florida, I am going to show you footage on the stream of people having parties on the beaches of Florida, of people sitting in lines and people trying to go shopping, and you know, Indonesians are doing some stupid ass shit. Spoilers.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to talk about a country that has zero capabilities? It's fucking Indonesia.
Yeah. No.
Okay, well,
they're doing some funny shit.
hit me up if you have room. If you don't, I'll be in the chat. Take it easy. Everybody, the red eye's back. Good night, good luck. And don't go anywhere. Don't leave your house. Oh my God, we're all gonna die. Ah!